wrestling fans, and welcome to Wrestling Gab. That's Dalitha. I am Travis. It's Monday. It's the start of your work week. We're here for Monday Night Raw, just to keep you company. What the fuck is she wearing? Is that like mirrors? What? Little like blades of metal or something? I was gonna say glass, but I think they're metal.
So,
like fish lures.
That. I was going to say, like, she took apart a disco ball and put him on a coat. But
right?
lures are the same.
She got fish
I'm not
lures.
sure what kind of fish she's trying to attract, but I guess she could attract any kind.
She can get whatever kind of fish she wants.
Film is in the chat, though. Hey, Film. Walter is there. He won't see us until 9:05 his time. Walter says, good AEW pay-per-view last night. Get some sleep. LOL.
I think I got plenty.
Ryoto's back in our chat for a minute. Hey, Ryota. Been a while since we've seen you in here, but hi. How's it going?
Good
Luke is in the chat. Hey, Luke. Sophie is out there also. Chris Akane is with us, and Jacob Hajin. Hey there. Ayla's with us. Hey, Ayla.
Good deal. They're basically just showing recaps of what happened last week.
Yeah, so it looks like we're probably going to get Asuka in the main event again tonight, guys. That's kind of what the thing has been going around today, so don't be surprised if that isn't your main event. So if that's something you aren't looking forward to, then I don't want to hear it and you can leave. Just kidding. Just be what it is. Just let it be what it's going to be, right? I have a question. Like, how many of you guys, like, have a favorite show that you watch and then, like, the show doesn't turn out how you want it to and you just complain about it, but you still like the show, but you complain about it all the time?
I'm sure.
No matter what.
I'm sure that's a normal thing, right?
Anyways, Luke says, hi, chat, and hi, Dalitha and Travis. Sophie says, hi, guys. Happy Memorial Day to everyone who celebrates this holiday. It's okay if you don't as well. Chris says, hi, Travis and Dee. So he says, who had an 8-hour sleep after suffering through a 5-hour pay-per-view last night. Looks like Hale. Looks like I literally woke up 1 hour ago.
Wow.
Jacob Jean says, sup, Travis and Dalitha.
Woo! Just looking to Lady Gaga in there. She looks like she's been crying or something, or does she have red under her eyes? Is that what that is?
It's just red makeup.
She looks like she's 70 years old with that stuff on. Like it's blood blisters or something.
What's your dog eating?
A bone? Is there bones anywhere?
I don't want it eating anything.
Every time you get on.
Hey! Get out of it!
All right, well, Becky don't live for you. She lives for herself. She runs on spite and coffee. And she feels pretty fueled up. Spite and coffee? Sounds healthy.
No. Aren't we all? Go get water. Go.
I mean, it would be nice if she got her title back, but I don't see it happening. Haven't they always been? She defies convention. Money in the Bank 2020. Asuka wins it.
Butter box.
Mm.
With nothing in it. Nothing in it.
He loves those butter boxes. He's like, I want a pound of butter. These are a few of my favorite things. She runs on spite and coffee. And she collects enemies.
Becky. Is that what she said?
Yeah. What? She handed her The greatest gift of her career.
Right?
Oh, no, she had this planned out.
She knew she could beat her, though. Jacob Jean says, sup, Travis and Talitha. Not much. Looks like I'm a little grumpy and cranky. It's because you slept too long. Ayla's like, 8 hours, Laffy. Tell me you don't have kids without telling me 8 hours. Haha, 8 hours.
Yeah, 6 hours is plenty.
Beagle's like, all is in the chat, but hey, Beagle says all gave some and some gave all. Looks like I agree with Dalitha. LOL. Ayla's like, that pie is amazing, by the way. Oh, yeah? It tasted really good? Oh, thank God.
My watch died at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Nice. Mine
So-
died at some point in the morning, too, because I woke up and it was dead.
All right, the Empress.
Couldn't tell
of
what time it was.
tomorrow.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
I don't know what you're agreeing with me on, Luke, but okay. And Ayla, I'm glad your pie was good. Luke says, you mean what most of chat does? And Robbie's like, what up, yo? So he's like, I don't have a fave show that I would watch by myself. Oh, when I was talking about shows, like, yeah, I mean, it does, like, no matter what, you just complain about it. Like, you like it, but you just complain about it. No matter, and if anybody brings it up, you just fucking complain about it. And then they're like, well, why did you watch it? I really like it. It makes absolutely no sense to me. It's like, it makes my brain go cray-cray.
Cray-cray.
Anyways, Robbie is in the chat. Hey, Robbie.
Hey, Robbie.
As Luke says, Game of Thrones final season was that show for me. But do you still like the show? That's the question. Like, do you still like it? Is it like some show you're like, oh my God, it's such a great show. Except, like Travis does it too. He has one that he does it with.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. Big Bang Theory.
Oh, yeah.
That show was fantastic, except when they brought Amy Farrah Fowler into it, and then I hated it.
Right, yeah, once they brought the girls in, besides Penny was great, but it went downhill quick. But it was a good show.
Robbie
And it
said-
still is. It's decent, right? Like, you can bear with it.
Okay. So that's what I was saying. Like, it has to be, like you said, it's just a normal thing that people do. No matter what, people will complain about it. No matter if they watch it or don't watch it, like it or not like it. Ravi's in the chat, though. Hey, Ravi says, you know, it started off well with Dee's fave Lady Gaga. Which one? Because they're both kind of dressed like what Lady Gaga would wear.
Now Esther's coming out.
And this one is not. This one looks like a train wreck of stupid. I know she makes her own outfits, but sometimes some of the stuff she makes is just hideous.
This is wrestling gear here, so I doubt she wears anything like that out in public.
I think she does. I think she wears it in public constantly. Just kidding. Ayla's like, same, Luke. And Ravi's like, Spite and coffee. What a combo. LOL. Piccolo's like, there's a disco pigeon on Raw. 2 of them now. One of them's just a little more dangly than the other. Sophie says, I'm surprised you're going live tonight. A couple of YouTube channels that usually do live watch-alongs took the night off because of last night's pay-per-view. We're hardcore! Looks like, Sophie, those streamers are weak then. Thanks, Luke. So it was like, I don't have a fave show that I would be obsessed with. Daz Reynolds is in the chat. Hey, Daz says, when if do you think Seth will win the title and who against?
Let's start by saying it depends on if they have 2 titles or not. If they have 2 titles, it'll be somewhere on Raw down the road. I don't know who against. Whoever the baby face is at the time. But if there's only 1 belt, he's not winning it anytime soon. I would say 2 or 3 years. And that's if they decide to build him back up. And right now they're pushing Cody ahead of him.
That's true.
But we'll see this Sunday. Sunday coming up.
With this,
But if Cody beats him 3 times in a row, Seth's kind of going to be pushed to the side for a minute also.
yeah.
Oh, shit. Becky just nailed Esther. They're both after Esther. They're like, you get out of the way. I'm going to beat her. I'm going to beat her.
They're both after Becky.
That's what I just said. They're both after her. You get out of the way. I'm going to beat her. And Becky comes flying and takes out Asuka. Uh-oh. Becky gets to the outside, but hits with that ass from Asuka. Spills out to the floor, takes her jacket off.
Did she?
I think Becky looks fine, but all of a sudden it's like it's 2-on-1.
Oh, Bianca Belair versus
But they're doing
Asuka's
it
up
first?
next. So it's first. So them saying it was going to be the main event, lies.
Well, she's been the main event 4 weeks in a row. Now, don't get it twisted, right? Like, it could still happen. They could do something, screw this match up, and then have it at the end. We see that stuff all the time.
That's true.
Or it could be Asuka and Becky Lynch in the main event.
That's true.
Or something along those lines.
Ayla says, this stream is not for the weak. It looks like true, Ayla. Sophie says, if I took a break from watching wrestling, I don't know what I would do with myself. I'm sure you would find something else to complain about or whatever.
OTSS, only the strong survive.
Ayla's like, oh, Sophie, I could give you a list of things you could do. Sophie's like, I never watched Game of Thrones. I tried watching it once. I got bored. It was like maybe a small book of things. Chris says, two-timing Bex is coked out again tonight. And Walter's like, Asuka and Becky in the ring. And hey, Ayla, I'm here now. Happy Memorial Day. Hey, Walter, nice to see you in the chat. Thought you weren't going to be here until a little bit later, but it's good to see you.
It's good to see you in here.
Well, Luke says, yes, LOL, I have the whole series on Blu-ray. LOL. So he says, with some shows, I sometimes agree with the fans, and some shows, I am on the show's side.
Yep. It all just depends on how you go about doing it.
Ayla says, Game of Thrones is the best, but the last season, I honestly have no complaints until the last season, but even that season isn't terrible. Just disappointing. I think you wouldn't know any better, Ayla, if you hadn't have been told that it wasn't what it should be. Like, in all reality, right? People watched it, had read the books, knew the stories, and then were like, how dare they do that?
Right. Well, we still got 2 books coming. And next November, not this November that's coming. The one after that, we're going to get the next book in the series, and then the final book should follow that.
So November of 23.
Mm-hmm. And then we can start getting the real ending, so we can figure out how it's really supposed to end, and then to see if people's complaints were right. Martin said that it's going to end different than they ended it.
Well, he already had said that. Plus, most of the show wasn't like the books anyways.
Right.
So,
and then it gives you an alternate ending when you read the books.
But it's just like Harry Potter books and movies. You cannot say... You can be a fan of both. But if you... I mean, and it's hard because if you like one better than the other one, you're always going to have complaints about one of them.
Right.
You just have to take it for what it is. This is how they interpret it, and this is their perception of what it should have been.
Think about how much better they could have done
there
Harry Potter if they would have had 10 episodes per book.
That's true.
Or actually 10 years, because he doesn't have 10 books either. So, that's almost like 14 episodes per book of an hour each. So 14 hours, you could get pretty detailed in your storytelling.
Yeah. True. Very true.
And I'm okay if they decide to go ahead and do a series, as long as they don't woke it up and kind of keep
Just make it exactly like the books.
Just what the book says.
Just what the books are. Walter says AEW pay-per-view Double or Nothing was good. It was good. Lots of stuff happening. It was good. If you're a CM Punk fan, I'm pretty sure you're extremely happy and jacked off all night about it. Chris says Asuka doing her Sasha Banks impression. Sophie says I love the Big Bang Theory. Walter's like Raw before Sunday sell pay-per-view. Film is in the chat. Hey, Film says hello, Misty and Travis. Big hugs, Woo. Big heart. And Luke says my issue with Game of Thrones final season is the build-up was epic, but then it feels like they just took the easy way out on the final episode. They had to end it somehow, right? They couldn't just leave it open. Could you imagine if they left it open, how more pissed people would be?
All I know is I've never watched it, and I've never talked to anybody about it because I don't want to know how the movie goes, because I was reading the books. Mm-hmm. But I could tell you, reading the books, it was a roller coaster of fuck. It was just like, every time you were trying to get into an actor, he was killed, or she was killed off, and you're like, well, who the fuck's the main character? You're still like, I'm 5 books in, I still have no idea who the main character is still.
I don't think there's one specific main character. I think that's the problem.
Right.
Is there's too many it's kind of like Lord of the Rings. Think of it as like Lord of the Rings. You had
right, but you
didn't
still
really
have a common goal. But yeah, I get what
kind
you're saying.
of, but they had different groups, and there really wasn't like. I mean, there kind of was a main character.
So Becky is calling this match. It has started. It's like Lord of the Rings if everybody died. And then at the end, it's somebody you don't even know that started the book, ends it. It was a great story.
Remember that one elf we saw back there in the woods? Tom, whatever his face was. The
Right.
guy who lived in that one.
Oh, yeah. The 800-year-old guy or whatever.
Yeah. It was him the whole time. So it was like,
Whoa.
when do you think Cody will win the championship?
I hope Cody wins it after Money in the Bank. So SummerSlam, maybe. Maybe October, November. Maybe in Saudi Arabia. That's
That'd be interesting.
November 5th. They could do that. Survivor Series coming up. I would assume they'll have separate champions when Survivor Series comes. And if Cody has a W over Roman going into Survivor Series,
Right.
that's gonna be a fun little feud. Because as of right now, there is no Survivor Series in the old school manner where they used to do brand for brand. Because the Usos have both tag team championships and Roman has both world championships.
They should have to fight themselves.
Like
They
Kenny
should go
Omega
out
and the
there,
doll and the blow up doll.
And they should have to fight themselves. They should go be on each side and do moves against themselves out
I'm
there.
kicking my ass. Do you mind?
Exactly. Philip says, first of all, what the hell is Becky wearing? A
Yes.
disco ball. And Ayla says, it was too rushed for me. Chief Detective Martha's in the chat, though. Hey, Chief. Says, at least they are in the Midwest. Illinois is just east of there.
Mm-hmm. They're going to be there on Sunday.
Sophie says, it is looking like Cody versus Seth could be the main event Sunday.
Yeah,
Walter.
absolutely going to be.
Yeah. Walter says Becky Lynch is ready to start music songs. LOL. Films like Let's Go Bianca Belair. Rob is like, glad Esta got smashed. Walter's like, Oscar for the win. Sophie says, congrats to whichever basketball team won the thing yesterday. It was the Celtics.
The Celtics. Carmella was dressed in all of her Celtics gear on Instagram today. I know a lot of you guys are fans of hers.
Right. Walter says,
Esther.
CM Punk, did you guys get some rest?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Robbie says, someone said the books are better.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm assuming. The Harry Potter books are way better, so I'm just assuming.
So I enjoy the books better than the movies of Harry Potter. I have enjoyed the Game of Thrones books that I have read, but I haven't seen anything else, so I couldn't tell you.
We tried to watch Game of Thrones when it first came out. Remember, it was live. We were watching it on HBO, and we watched the first one. It was weird because they were like, brother and sister were humping each other, the Lannisters.
Yeah, and then they pushed the kid out the window.
And then and then there was the midget on the bridge. Mm-hmm. And then that's the last episode we watched.
I think that's episode 2.
Yeah.
Let's see. Sophie says, How I Met Your Mother was good up until the final series finale.
Oh,
yeah, a lot of people said that about that one.
I've never seen that one, so I'd have to watch it. But I'm open to watch it. There's just other stuff that we're watching at the time, and the stuff I've seen, it's funny.
Yeah, but it's out of
Oscar's
context
gonna
or
choke 'em
whatever
out.
it is, so it's different, I guess. Robbie's like, I never seen the show. Walter's like, Ayla, you wasn't at Travis's house for pay-per-view Sunday. It was like, no, Duluth, I would know better. The first few seasons had a certain way about them. The final season, they rushed it, compacted, and completely informed a lot of important storylines.
I think it's because they were ending it, and
Ignored,
I don't
also.
think they were going to end it. I think they were going to go 12 years.
Yeah.
And they had to rush it all and finish it that year for some other reason. And then they were going to do a prequel. Is that what the one that they were just going to do?
Yeah.
And then they canceled it right before it went into production. I think they wasted something like $20 million in production on that.
Yeah.
Because they had that ready to start filming.
Yeah, they definitely
Something about
wanted to.
dragons or something. What was that one
It was
called?
about her. It was about the.
Yeah, the
it was about
dragon
the.
girl.
Her.
Whoa!
Whatever it
All
was
fall out
supposed
to
to
the
be.
floor. Her kingdom.
Yeah.
Her dad's, I guess.
Yeah. Her family heritage or whatever you would want to call it, I guess. Anyways, we're in
Now it's commercial break.
By the way, the last thing that happened was Belair threw Asuka outside, but kind of got caught up in her outfit, so she kind of fell outside too. So that's what's happening there. Looks like I ignored all the final season spoilers till I watched the final episode. It was good, but like I said, the final episode felt like they took the easy way out. They built a certain character for 8 seasons as this awesome good person. Then the final episode, they just had her turn like they wrote themselves into a corner and just did the easy ending. Sophie says, I read all 7 Harry Potter books and saw the movies. I don't know which I like the best. I think they're just different. So I like the movies for the movies themselves. They're just entertaining. But I really like to reread the books a lot because it's more entertaining in my brain.
Right.
For myself.
You know, and
that's just my own opinion.
I always look at it as the movies are like a highlight reel.
Yeah.
They if you read the book and then you watch the movie, you're like, they left out all the information and they just showed the highlights of the game.
And then some of it they changed to a point where you're like, why would they do that? That makes no sense. It was more dramatic
in the movie,
the
in the
original
book, yeah.
way rather than what they did it. But
right, and then the Quidditch scenes are too much because I get Americans love sports, but
yeah,
like in the book, it's like, and he went out in the Quidditch pitch and he caught the snitch and he left.
Woo, yay! Right?
It was like 4 paragraphs.
They put too much money and cinematic stuff into those scenes instead of other things.
Or
probably.
the Triwizard when he's getting chased by the dragon in the movie, it's like all dramatic. In the book, it's like he just wins.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a little bit, but nothing like what they did it as. Vinegar says, I'm tired. Quadruple or nothing really took a lot out of me last night. Thankfully, the holiday gave me some time to rest and recover, but still, less is more, Mr. Tony Khan. And,
it was 6 full hours.
Yeah, it was definitely 6 full hours.
Because of the pre-show, guys. It was a 5-hour pay-per-view and a 1-hour pre-show for us, and it was every bit of 6 hours.
And the pre-show could have been missed, except for maybe the last 15 minutes of it.
Yeah, not even
literally.
Right. They put it right.
They put the match at the very, very end of the pre-show, and they made it really short. So it didn't make any sense to even bother watching it. It was literally like a waste of time. So if anybody wanted to like see some, they should have put a couple of matches in the pre-show, and it would have been better, and could have done their little. How would you say?
Darby and O'Reilly could have been in the pre-show.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely could have been in the pre-show.
Yeah.
But.
Rob is like, a few ex-pros are backing what Sasha did.
Oh, wow.
Robbie,
that's still happening? We're still talking
about
that?
I
mean, MJF did the same thing where it's all good.
Actually,
MJF showed up to work, though, I guess.
Yeah.
So
he came back and he did his job and, and put Wardlow over or whatever.
He got hurt so bad they had to put oxygen on his eyes.
I know, it was terrible. But, I would have to look at it like, the ex-pros, how long have they been out of the game? If that happened, if they were up against somebody and they did that to them for their storyline, and the person they were having the storyline against just up and left, how would they have felt? Like, how would it have really played out for them? I think they would have been mad. So instead of putting themselves in the position of what it did to all the girls that were left and what it did to those storylines and fucked how many of them over, they're not. They're putting it in like, I'm a selfish dumbass and this is what I want to do, and I don't blame her for being a selfish little bitch.
Right. We are back. Asuka is wrestling again.
Yeah, they're back in the ring, by the way.
Little fall-away slam.
Yeah.
What's his name? Corey Graves has a American flag shirt on.
Well, good for him.
It's like one of those cowboy shirts, but it's an American flag.
Luke says the show is good, but if you watch the final season, you'll understand. Sophie says, when certain series last a long time, people get wondering when the final season is going to happen. Robbie says, just give her the green mist already. Robbie's like, Lord of the Rings, too long for me, won't watch it. Lord of the Rings was phenomenal. The movies follow the books so well that they're so good that I actually really enjoy both of them. I've listened to the books, and I'd probably listen to them again. They're really good.
Right. I want to watch the Hobbit movies, but every time we start, they're so slow.
But it is, usually...
It's like you got to have the 4 hours to sit and do nothing, and then get into it also. Yeah.
It's not just that, but the time that we tried to watch it, like, people came over, the dog wouldn't stop being weird, and there was just a whole bunch of things happening at that time that there was no, peace, so...
You sound like Jacob Marley. No peace.
Sophie says Lord of the Rings is a series I never got into for whatever reason. Luke says George R.R. Martin has said that there isn't a main character, but each book focuses on specific characters at a time to make it easier to follow.
Right. Well, sort of. I wouldn't necessarily go that route. The first 3 books go everywhere. You're in everybody's mind. And then the last 2, they are running parallel. So you could read either one of them first or second because they're not back-to-back books.
Mm-hmm.
So the last two that he's released, so 4 and 5, those two run at the same time. But there's so many characters at that point that he had to write 2 books.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's kind of what happened with Lord of the Rings, too. He literally had the Hobbit book was actually going to be like 6 books. He had so much written for it, and then wars happened and everything like that. He had to cut it down so that he could get it published.
She's hurt. Look at her. She hurt her leg.
Oh, that's terrible. Oh, the crybaby now.
Oh, she hurt herself. That's terrible. Who's the crybaby now? That's going to be tough come Sunday.
Ayla says, I don't mind how they chose to end it. In fact, it was a twist. All I'm saying is important build-ups got dropped. You could tell they had a time limit and needed to hurry. I don't know, just odd feel about it. Walter says, Becky Lynch on the commentary wearing sunglasses thinks she's a movie star. Funny. Vindicator says, WWE still not creative. I see another Oscar versus Bianca match. I'm hanging in here so I can see Liv and maybe Cody. Otherwise, I probably would have skipped tonight altogether. It was like, definitely know what Luke and I are saying if you watch the entire show. Sophie's like, maybe at Survivor Series they go back to the way it was before the brand split was a thing. Vindicator says, I can see Liv Morgan. I meant to say, I got what you meant. I like to see Liv. I got it. Luke says, Ayla, I mostly agree, but after taking 8 seasons to make one specific character a fan fave and a badass just to flip it like they did just felt shallow and too easy. Is it good?
Mine's not, but that one seems to be.
Film says it's armpit time. Ayla says I wasn't. Walter, I have to choose my battles with pay-per-views. Sophie's like, who watches The Walking Dead? Walter says that's cool. Ayla, I've never watched any Walking Dead.
I really wanted to.
Series. One episode.
I did want to watch it. Like when it first came out, like 7 years ago, 8 years ago, whenever it was. Maybe even longer than that now. I was like, this is perfect. It's like a zombie movie, because anytime you watch a zombie movie, oh, Bianca rolls her up and wins. Then Becky runs in and attacks Esther, throws her ass out of the ring. So now Becky's going after Asuka.
To beat her
the Bexploder.
That's very nice of her to take advantage of that situation.
Rock bottom. The man slam.
Walter says, that's cool, Ayla. Robbie says, Becky has box office Hollywood. Ayla's like, nah, I watched it 4 times. Honestly, started to dislike that character sooner. You could tell the madness was close. Sophie says, I think I like all the Harry Potter movies a lot better than the movies.
The books?
Than the books? Or like, which one do you like better? The books or the movies? Your comment didn't make sense. Ayla's, I personally don't think they just flipped to bad guy. It was build up, my opinion anyway. Sophie says, it's funny when we don't talk wrestling related stuff in the chat, Luke doesn't get mad. Walter's like, come on, Asuka, win this match, use moves. Ayla says, because Luke and I are speaking. Sophie, Luke says, the next Game of Thrones show starts this fall. Oh, they're actually going to do it then?
Yeah, I think they're doing a different one.
Oh, not the one they decided.
Right.
Robbie says, still can't get over the madness in France for the Champions League final. Liverpool fans getting tear-gassed. French police need to fix up. You guys are crazy about your football.
That's pretty funny.
That's something we don't do.
Why are they attacking the fans? What are they upset about? Do they have to wear masks or something? And the government's attacking them? Or is it something else? I don't want to speculate.
Luke says, Sophie, it's because no one is spamming needless stuff in chat. We were having a good convo. Walter says, geez, Ms. and Maurice after WWE, okay. Ayla says, we don't always talk about wrestling. 89% of the time it's food. Sophie says, when someone watches a movie based on books, people criticized it. Usually it's because the movies don't follow the books, and people who read books, if you read books, are very, very, like, dedicated to the book and how the book is done. And when the movies come out and they're not quite following the same line as the book, you get kind of weirded out by it, and it's upsetting for a lot of people. That's just how it is. Walter's like, WWE Evil is good to watch. Luke says, Sophie, it's mostly we get tired of fake rumors, needless complaining, and stuff like that. Robbie says, question, do you think the cinema is overpriced? I fucking do, Robbie. I think the cinema is way overpriced. That's why I usually don't end up going. It's very rare that I go to the movies Luke says it was actually 9 hours. The scrum after went 3 hours. LOL. Are you talking about the Liverpool game or something?
No, he's talking about the wrestling last night.
Oh. Ayla says, yeah, Sophie, because 99% of the time the book is better, mainly because of the amount of details you miss from a book. Walter says, blame the NBA Finals last night during AEW pay-per-view. The finals went really fast, Walter. In fact, the final was over way before they even did the main event.
There was still 2 matches left. They were in that third match.
Yeah, and they really didn't make any of their matches go longer. They didn't have any, like, times where they, how would you say, they were wasting time, I guess you could say.
Right. There was the little bit with the award ceremony, but they had to do it because they had the tournament.
Yeah, otherwise you had no idea what the fuck it was about.
Yeah, that Owen Hart tournament thing might be the biggest scam in wrestling history. I swear to God, that was the dumbest publicity ploy ever.
Right. Walter says MJF is still walking out of AEW, still needs to talk to Khan. Luke says some wrestling news group photoshopped a pic of Triple H and MJF together and tried to say they met today. Oh, that's not very funny. Look, the one we saw was Tony Khan was outside of a window of an airplane, and it was MJF was on the plane with Vince McMahon talking.
And Tony Khan's like, let me in.
That was funny shit. Like, that one was way funnier. Rob is like, why didn't you have your flag shirt on? Because I don't wear a flag for Memorial Day. Memorial Day is about...
The soldiers
it is about
that
your
gave their
flags
life.
and your pride in your country. But for us, Memorial Day is about giving respect to the fallen soldiers and veterans who died for our country, the United States of America.
Yeah, we have Veterans Day for
veterans
for people that
alive
went to war and sacrificed, but didn't sacrifice all for us.
Yes. The history of Memorial Day is a little bit different.
This is for the soldiers that died.
Oh, let's see. I keep getting behind. Holy shit. It looks like Game of Thrones had to end because they have other storylines to get to. No one's upset it's over. So he says, which is better movie-wise, Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings? Lord of the Rings.
Harry Potter. Oh, movies?
Movie-wise.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings is way better movie-wise, including the Hobbit movies. With that,
but book-wise,
totally better.
Book-wise, it's not. They're not even in the same league.
No.
Harry Potter's
completely different. Like
beyond.
They're just so different. I couldn't even compare them, even if they are still considered a fantasy. Harry Potter's is a fantasy that's based in real time and like real world stuff, where Lord of the Rings is a completely different land, completely different stuff, and everything like that. Tolkien, he made a world, and that was it. Harry Potter is based in world now, and it could be any kid kind of thing. Mm-hmm. It's a little bit different story-wise and everything. So I feel that they're really, really good stories of their own. Like, each of them are really good for what they are.
Tolkien explains stuff a little too much sometimes. I don't mind it, though. He's fine. It's just the first, 5 chapters of his book are to tell you that these dates matter because people care about them after they read the books.
Yeah, you've never read the author that writes these books, like the Riders of the Purple Sage. I can't remember his name.
Gray.
Yeah, Zane Grey. You've never read his books, and you've never read. I hate his books. They're called the Sword of Shannara books. I can't remember the fucking author's name. Terry Brooks. Oh.
Elias came out. Or not.
My God. You want to talk
Ezekiel.
about books that talk too much about shit that makes absolutely no sense? Read those.
Alpha Academy.
I literally skip half the books because of how he writes them. Can't stand them. Chris is like Becky saying she's a wizard. Did she say she was a wizard? I didn't hear her say that. Looks like
Jericho? Did she throw fireballs?
I don't think she threw fireballs, but looks like Lord of the Rings movies were so good, and the changes they made, you could clearly tell they were made for playing pacing issues and nothing else. Ayla says, Lord of the Rings is my jam, my favorite of all time. I watch once a year, every single movie connected. Walter says, okay, at 9:10 p.m. my time, I'm going. I'll be here at 8 p.m. Wednesday at AEW. Still here on chat. Sophie says, my sister loves Lord of the Rings. Ravi says, Becky is crook. That's why spouts all that jazz. Ayla says, your sister seems cooler than you, Sophie. Sophie's like about Pirates of the Caribbean. Any hot takes about that franchise? It's dead to me.
God.
If Johnny Depp isn't Jack Sparrow, it's completely dead to me.
Are they going to do another one without him, though?
Yep.
They're planning?
Nope, they already have it planned. It's already set up to do. Looks like the Hobbit movies were a little disappointing. Ravi says, Ayla friends with Sophie and her sister. That's cool. Ayla's like, compared to the books, yes, on their own, they're good.
Could they get rid of Jack Sparrow altogether and just have the other guy?
They would be better off getting rid of him altogether so that they don't have that character.
And then if they did it, just have him, like, his back turned towards the camera.
Something.
And he just talks.
And he never talks.
And they have to go down a, like, cave to get to him, and he's, like, living in, like, a weird place or something.
You could
something
do
along
something
those
like that.
lines.
But they're going to replace them altogether, and it's... Ayla's like, no, Sophie. Robbie's like, Esta cheap wins. Sophie said, The Walking Dead. I can't get into the show. Ayla says, 11 years I watched all The Walking Dead and caught up on Fear the Walking Dead. Honestly, they're okay, but it's so redundant. Looks like The Walking Dead was good for the first 4 seasons, and it just fell apart. Sophie says, I like all the Harry Potter movies more than the books.
I mean, you can only have a zombie last so long because at some point all the people would be dead.
Well, that, and they'd have to rot away.
Right, and that's the other thing. Do zombies starve to death? That is, I don't know if that show answers that question.
But their flesh would have to rot off. Like, it would
Yeah, 'cause
have
there's
to
no blood
rot
flow.
away at some point.
Do the crows eat them?
I don't think anything would want to, or else you'd become a zombie.
You can't eat zombie?
I think that you can't. Remember what happened to the deer? It got bit by a zombie.
Well, that's
and it
bit
became
by
a
it.
zombie. Yeah, but if something
Whoa.
else was eating it,
Kevin
they
Owens
would become
supposed to be
a
outside.
zombie.
So we got the Mysterios, by the way, against the Alpha Academy and Ezekiel, and then Kevin Owens is out there with the Alpha Academy.
Yeah.
Otis is waiting for the kick. They're not doing it. He's like, what the fuck's going on?
Hello. They're like, we have to get ready. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. All right. I was hoping that Dominic would be turning on Mysterio Ray here pretty soon, but he didn't. And this would have been a perfect opportunity, but it looks like they're pushing other storylines with these guys in it. Shoosh!
Let's see. Ravi is like, Esta got clarted. Whoop, whoop. Ayla's like, House of Dragons, I believe, is the thing. And yes, House of Dragons, Luke says. Luke says the same one about Daenerys' bloodline, the Targaryens or whatever. So it is the same one. They're just rebooting it. Okay.
Yeah, they got... Something happened with the original, and they lost a bunch of money on it.
Yeah. So he says the Fantastic Beasts movies are a little disappointing after the first one. The last 2 are not great. It's because they don't have Johnny Depp as Grindelwald.
He was in the second one.
Finnegan says, so when are you running for office, Travis? You would probably make a really good Idaho senator.
No, not happening. It would be kind of fun, but...
I wouldn't want to be a politician. Not nowadays. Walter's like, the Mysterios and Ezekiel for the win. Films like, did Bianca Belair win? Yes, she did, with a fruit roll-up on Asuka. Looks like I'm hearing loud feedback or buzzing. Cool. It was like something is wrong with your sound.
Okay. Just all this, like it just happened?
That was a while ago. That's why I said I haven't got caught up on the chat, so I have absolutely no idea.
Does it have a timestamp?
6:31.
What time is it?
It was 8 minutes ago. So he says The Walking Dead is ending this year. It looks like it stopped. But looks like I still hear a bit of buzzing, but not as bad. So he says, at least you got your stream to work tonight since twice last night it got crashed. Vindicator says, I blame Ayla. Feud with Sophie for that static feedback. Stream just can't handle it. Which looks like LOL. Much longer. But says Joey Rico.
How loud are we? Keep going because you're 8 minutes behind anyways.
Joey Rico says, hey guys, long time. How you guys been? Good, Joey. Glad to see you back in the chat. How are you doing?
Hanging out with us.
Sophie says, do you think MJF will actually get released from AEW? Depends. His contract is up, so it's kind of up to if they're going to re-sign him or not for what he wants. Luke says, did you see the real picture of a WWE truck outside the AEW pay-per-view advertising Money in the Bank? That's pretty funny.
Actually, I did. Yeah, that was actually pretty funny.
Bryce Pitts is in the chat, though. Hey, Bryce, says, hello, Wrestling Gab. I am here. That's fantastic.
They said it was a low blow because Cody was on the truck.
Oh, no.
Advertising right directly
They're like,
to
ha, 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 ha. And so basically when MJF left, he just went and got on that bus.
I think it was a semi-truck trailer, but yeah, that's funny.
Sophie says every day there is some holiday or day for something. Looks like buzzing is fully gone now. Vindicator said that was at 6:33.
So we did nothing. Nothing happened.
Vindicator says no. Sophie Maxwell is Tony Khan's bitch for life, yo. I don't think so, Vin.
We'll see how it all plays out.
We'll see. Sophie says, remember Willow?
The movie with
Are you
Tom
talking about
Cruise?
the Willow movie?
Or are you talking about what's his name's daughter?
That was Val Kilmer in that movie, Willow.
Right.
Not Tom Cruise.
It's not the argument we're having. What? He got slapped, or he slapped Chris Rock. Who's that guy? Will Smith. His daughter's Willow, isn't it?
Oh yeah, if that's the person, I don't know what.
I whip my hair back and forth. I whip my hair.
I don't know if that's what.
Okay, well.
What Sophie's yakking about? They just said remember Willow, so there you go.
She likes that.
It says Tolkien's family was upset about the. No, I don't think so. Tolkien's family was upset about the movie The Hobbit compared to the book. I haven't read it. I have no opinion on that. I love the movies. Sophie says it took me like a couple of years to finish all the Harry Potter books. Really, it takes me like 3 weeks if I just really read them.
Yeah, you got to bucker down on that.
Looks like the crazy thing about Lord of the Rings is Tolkien made the entire Elvish language, then made the LOTR books to use the language. LOL. Yep. Robbie says French police were claiming that Liverpool fans were rushing in with fake tickets and no tickets, and even young kids got tear gassed. It was the Parisian people fans rushing in, game delayed for 30 minutes. So the French police were going cray-cray, and
they like to shoot kids.
They're like, yes, we love to extend our power.
They hate kids.
Power. It was like Stephen King makes better books. Some of his movies are good, but really just his books.
Yeah, they're usually made for TV. I think he has a couple real movies. What's the one with the semi-trucks? Maximum Overdrive was a real movie. Cujo, Christine.
Was it? Well, maybe. Was Christine?
Yeah, Christine's a movie.
Yeah, it's a movie. It was never like a series. Made for TV series or anything.
But that like Thinner and the original It is a TV series, and then The Mist, there was a Mist or something like that.
Yeah, they did that as a TV show too. Looks like Stephen King is my favorite author. I own all his books. Sophie says Willow, this series is coming at the end of November on Disney Plus.
That sounds cool.
I was like, do you give the film a chance? It might be good. Sophie, are you talking Willow as in the actual movie Willow? I just want to know for sure that I'm thinking the right thing.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. If there's a series coming, it's got to be off that. I can't remember what it's about.
It's about a little person finds a baby, and it's a little girl baby, and then he has to take her somewhere because she's like the princess or something.
Is it Jennifer Garner? Or not Jennifer Garner, Jennifer Connelly when she grows up?
I don't think so, maybe.
Sounds very familiar.
So. Robbie says,
Ezekiel.
give the film a chance, it might be good. Ayla says, his book, The Road Virus Heads North and Light Theory of Pets.
Oh, Pet Sematary.
Is my favorite Stephen King short stories.
I forgot about Pet Sematary. It's a show also.
So it says, I don't have a fave author. I don't know what she means by an LT theory of pets. I don't think she's talking about Pet Sematary.
Oh, I have no idea.
Maybe. Sophie said that. Robbie said condom channeling his inner Ricochet.
Right? He thinks.
Ooh, he missed
Oh,
he
shit!
kicked his own person.
Kicked his own partner right in the grill.
Oopsie.
Ezekiel throws Kevin Owens out.
Advantage.
So if you just got thrown out, wouldn't you just get right back up? It's not like Kevin was hurt. Double 619.
Silly. Looks like Stephen King's It, The Stand, Under the Dome, The Pet Sematary, my favorite books of his. So he says, I'm almost done with the Rock book and that I got for my birthday from February.
8.5 minute match right there. It's not so bad.
Joey Rico says, hey guys, doing good, guys. How you been? Doing pretty good, Joey.
Doing fantastic.
Oh, Kevin is angry, upset. He's a mad boy. He's out there taking apart the announce table right now. It says, I have my volume on max, but I have 2 kids screaming next to me. So he's like, I'm surprised MJF is upset to be in AEW. Seems to be handed everything. We don't know what his personal life's like, Sophie. Robbie's like, the armpit man is here. LOL, I remember The Wind in the Willows. Wind in the Willows is a good book. Good story. Sophie says, you guys are fine. Joey Rico says, Top Gun Maverick is Amazon. Luke Riley says Willow is the 80s movie. Robbie's like, Willow was that short dude. LOL. Film's like, is Matthew here? No.
We have not seen Matthew.
Sophie's like, Willow from the 1980s movie. Got it. Okay, now that I know it's the movie, I know which one you guys are talking about. I figured that's what it was, but I didn't want to assume. And Travis is over here going, no, it's...
Oh, was it not?
It's that movie from the 80s, Willow.
That's what we were saying.
Luke says, and a series based on the movie coming out. Got it. Boom says, wait a minute, hold up. Top Gun Maverick is on Amazon Prime?
Well, you can rent it.
You can probably rent
it's
it
probably
on there,
$20 to
maybe.
rent.
I don't know if it's there yet, but it could be, I guess. He's irate and beside himself. Film says, hey, Robbie, how's it going, friend? Good to see you. Joey Rico says, Top Gun Maverick is awesome. Sophie says, The Rock's schedule for next year is free.
It's like the #1 movie on Memorial Day weekend history. It made $151 million.
That's weird.
Maybe it was number one. But it's right there with like a lot of really good movies. I think the only movie that was higher than it on this weekend was $153 million, and it was the pirate one.
Oh.
The Caribbean that we were just talking about.
Right. Luke says both movie versions of it are so good. The original, it was good for its tune, and the new one is fantastic. Sophie says about the Bill and Ted movies, how awesomely dumb and fun they were.
I love the first one. Bogus Journey was silly, and I haven't seen the third one yet.
Willow, Ayla says Willow is creepy. I hate it. Whatever. It's not any more creepy than fucking what's that one that you're talking about?
Is that the
where
one with the devil in
stolen?
it? Does that have the badass devil in it?
Willow?
Mm-hmm.
No.
There's one of those movies. Then it's the one with Tom Cruise.
Yes.
And the devil is the coolest devil I've ever seen in any movie.
It's whatever that Tom Cruise one is. I don't know it. I've never seen it. I've heard of it, but I've never watched it.
Link or something. I can't remember either. Oh, Cody coming out. They're not saving him for that third hour. We didn't have a Cody countdown.
He is in his suit, though, so it's a little different. We might get a Cody countdown. Robbie says, how much is Hell in a Cell? Well, if you have
Peacock.
A Peacock, it's $5.
It's $5 for everybody unless you want to pay $9, which is an option.
Yes,
but you get the same fucking thing. If you're only using it for wrestling, it's the same thing. I don't understand. But if you're going to watch other things on it, I suggest doing the commercial free.
Yeah. So it says, I just saw the new Bill and Ted movie when it was on Hulu. I don't know if it's still on there now. I don't know either. Robbie's like, Ayla, really? Question mark. Ayla's like, no, not Pet Cemetery. Luke says Jennifer Connelly was in Labyrinth. Robbie says Kevin gonna stun mans on that table. Sophie says, and some series, I'm surprised that they got past season 1. It was like LT Theory of Pets. It's a short from Stephen King about bad marriage and disappearance and murder. Film says, hello, Ayla. Of course, happy Monday. Sophie says, Luke and Ayla should form a book club. Ayla's like, yes, Robbie Willow is creepy. It gives me chills and I don't like it.
That's what I want. I want to join a book club because there's like books that I want to read, but I'm like, I'll just read what I already know.
Right.
But if I was in a book club, they would be like, hey, let's read new books. And I'd be like, okay. And then I'd be like, oh, this isn't bad.
I don't even know if they do that anymore. If they do it in person or if it's just weird online stuff. Robbie's like, I'm surprised at that, Ayla. And Ayla's like, why? Robbie's like, Film, how you doing? Sophie says Top Gun Maverick will be on a streaming service, but I don't know how many days it will be in theaters before it goes on one of those streaming services. 45 at the least.
Yeah, it's like a 45-day
90
thing.
at the most.
It is. It's Paramount, so they'll do it in 45.
45 days, you'll see it on a streaming service.
Right.
Luke says, my favorite book series, The Looking Glass Wars, based on Alice in Wonderland, will be getting movies, and I'm stoked. It was like, I'd give you a reason, but I'd get in trouble. Honestly, it makes me so uncomfortable. Robbie's like, message retracted. Ayla's like, The Last Unicorn, Travis. No. He's not talking about a cartoon. He's talking about a movie. It had Tom Cruise in it. It had... I know which one he's talking about, but I seriously couldn't tell you what it is. It was one of the ones that he did.
He was pretty young.
He was young, and it was kind of around the same time as Labyrinth. And it was along those same kind of lines of weird movies like that. Willow, The Labyrinth. And it was one that he was in. Fuck, I can't remember it either. You've talked about it multiple times, so I should remember the name of it. But I don't. Film's like, it's the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. And Robbie says, I just didn't think it was a movie that would creep you out. Vindicator's like, wrestling has more than one royal family, Travis. At least that's what the Rhodes Heritage convinced themselves to believe, LOL. Sophie says, with movies going to streaming services, it's hard to tell which streaming service it will go to. Now, it just depends on who is making the movie. You have to look up, Sophie, who the producer of the movie is, and then you'll know exactly what streaming service it'll go to. It says there's a reason it's an international fear of short. I know exactly what you're talking about because Travis has a problem with it too. Film says, I'm doing good, Ravi. Now I got to ask you before we move on to our next women's match, what time is it? I see the original Top Gun from 1986. So good. Ravi says, probs the next hour film. Walter says, now Cody Rhodes will talk. Film says, hey, Vin, happy Monday. Sophie says, some movies get the 45-day window. Some get 70 or 90.
Yeah, Paramount does 45. They just did it with Fantastic Beasts. They did it with the movie with Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum, The Lost City. So, and those are two pretty big box office movies. I'm going to assume they're going to do it with Top Gun too. What's the point of having it in the movie theaters and then taking it out and then waiting? Might as well put it right on your service.
Yeah.
But I know what she's talking
DVDs
about.
Not being
the Sony movies, Sony has no platform. So Sony movies, they wait 90 days or even 180 days, and then they release it. And they usually release it to Netflix because they just signed an exclusive, by the way.
Yeah.
I just read that. It was like February or March when they signed that.
So if there's any movies that are made by Sony Pictures, you won't see them on a streaming service except Netflix in 90 to 180 days, depending on what they decide.
And that's like your
for that movie.
Like your Incredible Hulk, because Sony
all the Spider-Mans.
Spider-Man.
So yeah,
because they have the streaming service.
I'm hoping that they'll finally put the Spider-Mans on Netflix so people can actually watch them.
They might be in other countries.
Because you cannot watch it on any streaming service unless you rent it or buy it. It's sad. It's pathetic. Walter's like, boo. Seth Rollins. Vindicator says it's amazing how it's like night and day, complete different feelings. Cody comes out, it feels like a serious show. Every other minute, it feels like cartoonish comedy hour at some D-list film studio.
It's the outfits. He's all dressed professional.
Yeah. Ravi says Cocktail was a good film. Question mark.
I loved it. And that girl that's in there, is that Elizabeth Shue? That's not Elizabeth Shue. What's that girl's name?
I don't remember if it's Elizabeth Shue.
It's not. It's the other. No, it could be. It's the girl that's in The Karate Kid.
Elizabeth Shue.
Then it's Shue, yeah.
Chief Detective Martha says, yep, by next week, Sweet Home Chicago, here they come. Ayla says, I can just barely handle Wizard of Oz and Willy Wonka. Sophie says, we are getting Indiana Jones 5 next year. Ayla's message retracted. Ravi says, Ayla, you crack me up. Surely not, LOL. And Ayla says, Legend, my bad.
Legend.
That's it.
That is it.
That's the name of it. Sophie says, but some movies have two companies backing it, though. No, they actually don't. Most of them have one major production company that is producing the fucking movie, and that is the platform that it will get released on.
Right, and what she could be talking about is Marvel is partly owned by Disney and partly owned by Sony. They own different characters of the Marvel universe. And so they do work together.
But most of the time, it's going to be Disney that will outmatch whatever Sony has. Because Sony is only allowing them to use the character. And it's actually a Marvel fucking movie through Disney. Right. So there you go. Luke says, message retracted. Pickle is in the chat. Back says, I'm not feeling the chat today, but legend. Tim Curry was the devil and Tom Cruise was the protagonist.
That's so funny that's Curry.
Tim Curry. He does some pretty funny stuff.
I like him. Yeah, he's a creep.
Walter's like, Cody and Seth will fight. Vindicator says, happy Memorial Monday film, Nation of Domination. Ayla's like, yes, my bad. I just thought Unicorn. I just watched that movie like a year ago. I love The Last Unicorn. It's so sad. It makes me cry. So it's like some movies get played in both theaters and the streaming services. Walter says 2023 more new movies. So they're kind of going away from that.
They did that through the pandemic. You're 100% correct, but they're coming out of it. You're not going to see it like you did. It was a glorious time in 2020, 21 for that. Like you could just watch movies that were just released.
Yeah. Walter says 2023 more new movies. Yes. Ayla says, Sophie, do you follow a script? Just curious. Sophie's like, no, I have my own script. Walter's like, USA. And Ayla's like, there's a unicorn in Legend. It's a stupid unicorn.
Yeah, there is.
Sounds
I think he kills it. I think the devil kills it.
There you go.
It's been a long time since I've seen that.
Phil says, Vin, who will win in a Harry and Pitt match? Lacey Evans or Liv Morgan? I choose Lacey. What about you? Yes, happy Memorial Day. God bless our veterans. Those are true heroes. Robbie says, so Seth to lose at Hell in a Cell?
I don't know. Cody just said he wants Seth to show up.
Ayla says, yeah, you should check off what you already repeated, Sophie. Walter's like, is there a WWE prediction this Saturday?
Yeah, we'll have to. I don't know if it'll be Saturday. We might do it before then. It just depends on when we figure out the match card.
Yeah. Film says,
I don't think there's any SmackDown wrestlers on it.
Yeah, right? Are there?
I don't know if they're going to do anything with the Usos.
Yeah. I don't know. Film says, hey, I like Film Nation of Domination. I like it, Ben. Thank you. Ayla says, HBO Max won't do that anymore. And Sophie says, I don't know what new movies that are out there will go to Netflix compared to all the streaming services out there. Not very many. They all have their own. But it cares like choose Liv every time, Film. It's like, wow, spoilers, Travis. Some of us were looking forward to watching Legend. He said he wasn't for sure.
Dude, I can't remember that show. I don't remember there being a midget on it.
He just remember. I don't think there is.
I thought she didn't like it because there was a midget.
No.
Or was that Willow?
That's Willow.
Oh, okay. Never mind. See? It's been a long time.
See, Travis said it for you, Ayla. That's why. That's why Ayla doesn't like the movie. She was trying to be all kosher about it. Like, I'm not going to say why I don't like it, but it creeps me out. Stuff.
Have you ever seen Project X? They put a midget in the oven.
Talk about giving you nightmares about little people.
And then he comes out and just starts punching all the guys in the balls. It's pretty violent. Got it finally. My contact. It was just scratching my eye. I changed contacts.
Ooh. Contact.
They're gonna be locked in a cell. Oh, here comes Seth. He's gonna be locked in a cage with somebody that wants to hurt him. And hurt him bad.
You're gonna hurt him. He wants to be in a cell with him so he can hurt him. Hurt him real bad. That's funny. Seth coming down. We'll see what he has to say.
Where's he at?
I don't know, but he's just giggling all creepy like.
Is he up there?
Oh, he's up there.
He is. Whoa!
Oh, what the fuck is he wearing?
It looks like a bathrobe. Pajamas. This guy's jammies on. A person like grabbed their kid that like lifted him up.
Yeah, he's got his arms up. Cody.
Hulkamania shirt. Welcome home, Seth.
What? He looks like he's wearing those glasses that one kid in like Grease wears all the time. I think it's that show.
Oh.
The 3D glasses that he wears.
Oh.
I don't like you.
What show is that? I know what you're talking about.
Oh, it's Back to the Future. Never
mind.
Like, I know it's some movie we've seen multiple times.
Same time zone, time area, you know, the 50s. Mm-hmm. Seth, he's got like dress shoes on and pajamas. Cody. Can't even stand it anymore.
Robbie's like, the third hour is coming close. Sophie says the Firestarter reboot movie is being played both on Peacock and in movie theaters.
The only reason I even kind of want to watch that is Zac Efron's in it.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, hey, I haven't seen Zac Efron for a minute.
Film's like, hey, Picola, happy Monday, friend. Okay, nice, Ben. Robbie says, so what's Seth going to do now? Come down and talk. God bless you. Bates is in their chat, says, I still use Netflix. And Ayla's like, Travis, laughing. Saying that about that show. That's why Ayla doesn't like it. Looks like Netflix can't even afford to get new movies. Well, there's like a new Thor movie is coming out. Yeah, I'm not going to watch it. It's too woke for me.
I'm probably not going to end up watching that one. I haven't watched a movie since they did The Snap. the part 2 of that. And I didn't watch the ones before that, so I didn't even watch the Guardians of the Galaxy 2 or any of the build-ups. The Roanoke, whatever.
I have
Thor
no
Roanoke
idea.
or
Never saw it.
Rockanock or whatever.
Ragnarok.
Whatever, yeah.
It was like, it's rude. I know, I can't help it. I don't know why.
I feel like there's just too many movies now. I can't catch up. It's like, well, I'm fucked. Because I'm not going to spend 60 hours watching Thor.
Yeah, Marvel movies. So he's like, Peacock is still doing the whole movie, getting played in movie theaters on their streaming service with some movies. It might depend on what they are, but they won't keep doing it for very long. Vinicare says, Vinicare says, delete that. Who do you think is a better dresser and talker? Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, Miz, MJF, Roman Reigns, or Paul Heyman?
Well, it's not.
Dresser and talker together?
It's not Roman, and it's definitely not
Roman
Paul.
Reigns doesn't dress very well. Paul Heyman dresses okay, but he still sloppily dresses. The Miz, if he actually dresses up in his actual suit and stuff, I would say it's a tie between Miz and Cody Rhodes for
Cody's
how they dress.
Yeah, and
their talking.
I would also put Bobby Lashley in there with him.
Yeah. I don't know. His talking's gotten better, but
No, not talking. I'm talking about just suit.
But this is better dresser and talker
okay.
together. So yeah, no. Luna's like, I have Peacock and Hulu. Ayla says, I use Netflix because I have a problem. Once I commit.
Break
Seth
up with
has
it.
a creepy laughing voice lately. Where's like Seth with the fans. Sophie says, I don't have Paramount Plus, so I have to find another streaming service to watch whenever a movie is on that service. I use Netflix sometimes. It looks like Game of Thrones had one. There's something about him, though, that doesn't bother me. I don't know. He's in a few movies. He was in Elf. He was the South Pole elf. Luna's like, there's Tubi. Bobby says Seth Rollins going tonight, big man thing. Vindicare says Seth just confirmed he likes Cody as much as Dalitha likes Philip Jack Punk. So if you'd like, there's also Crackle. John says on Netflix, I like to watch Cuphead. I'm still waiting for some new episodes, so entertaining to watch. Also, Dalitha is eating chocolate dessert. Yeah.
It is peanut butter chocolate. What's that called?
It's Rice Krispies.
Rice Krispie treat that you used to get from
It's a peanut
school.
butter Rice Krispie treat I made with
A little thicker chocolate
peanut
than we
butter
had
and
in school.
chocolate.
Is it really rich because of the chocolate?
kind of, but it's not like those candies that we had in school. It's literally Rice
Cody.
Krispie treats, not those.
He's getting ready.
Not the peanut butter treats.
Seth undid his belt. Look at him. Seth literally looks like he lives in a fancy trailer park.
Right. It's like, I live in the fancy part of the trailer park.
Like his lot space is a little bit more money than everybody else's.
Right.
He's got a double wide.
He's like, haha, you thought I was going to come down there. I'm not. Robbie's like,
Cody's coming after him though.
Oh, here. Oh.
At least he went towards Cody. Cody's even got one of those watches on his little lapel thing or whatever. His little vest.
Robbie wants to know if Sophie's watching on Netflix Peppa Pig. Luke says there is no crackle in the audio. Walter says Seth and Becky are crazy gimmicks.
Oh, shit.
Looks like Ragnarok. Yeah, that thing. Sophie's like, I mean, there's a Crackle streaming service. Bryce says, so what is Seth going to do? They're doing
He's getting his ass handed to him is what he's going to do.
Looks like next time, clarify Sophie. Bryce says, honestly, hope Cody destroys Seth Rollins. I'm ready for this view to be done. Robbie's like, Sophie should be on the Gab with a rumors section. So he says Hulu has some good shows, but the problem is commercials.
Oh, right through the barricade.
Luke says, no, Rafi, because those 80 to 90% of stuff put out is garbage and shrill for normies, right?
Netflix?
If you're talking about Netflix, Picola, yes. Anthony Manzano's in the chat. Hey, Anthony says, I have exciting news. I just found out recently I'm going to be an uncle because my little sister is pregnant, possibly with twins, but they are not sure yet. They have to go to the doctor again to confirm. Wow, that's crazy, but congratulations. That's
way
going to
cool.
be fun. So he says Disney Plus I use for certain series and movies. Godfleshy says I was watching the original Blade Runner with Harrison Ford on Netflix the other day.
What kind of bullshit is this? They change the fucking camera angle every
2 seconds?
No, it's like every 300ths of a second.
Right?
It's like
they're like, hey, you want to not see what's going on? Let's go in and out, over here, over there, over here, over there. Yeah, it's annoying. Looks like they would have to make a huge legal disclaimer about the opinions of Sophie does not represent Wrestling Cat. Sophie says, if I really like a show, I would binge it from beginning to end. Robbie says, brawl going on down, go on. Pickle says, I'm guilty because I'm a sucker for bang bang explosion bikini bro pounded out movies myself.
Right? The best kind.
Philip's like, get him, Cody. Walter's like, yeah, fight in the crowd. And Bryce says, yeah, now you're talking. Bryce's like, Sophie, binging is not good for your health. Sophie says there.
It's the new smoking.
It is. Like, binge watching TV is literally like...
Unless you're watching it while you walk. So I had this brilliant idea. I'm not kidding. I was 300 pounds at one time, and
I'm trying to get to 300 pounds.
So I literally decided I was going to start walking and exercising, and I did. I was doing really good, and I started getting bored because I was walking like an hour at a time, like twice a day. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I am going to start watching a show. So I started watching original like WrestleMania 1 as I'm walking. And I had a tablet. It was a 10-inch tablet. And I'm holding it in my hands, and I'm watching it as I'm walking. And I'm really walking, like, outside, which is bad enough for your health. I ended up, like, spraining my neck or something because I had my head down the whole time. And I didn't realize it for the full hour as I'm walking. And it hurt so bad for, like, 2 weeks. So, it's like, yeah. And on top of that, we had puppies.
Oh, yeah.
Remember? That's what we had the
That's
puppies.
when you were doing that.
Yeah. And so then I kind of just laid down in a recliner for like 3 days, but outside in a kennel with all the dogs because we kept the puppies outside. It was like July, so it was pretty warm for them. And I put a canopy over the top and like tarps around the side. It was a full enclosure. Mm-hmm. Put it in the shade. But yeah, don't do that. They almost just need a big thing that sits out front of you. You put a tablet on while you're walking.
I think they have something like that goes on your neck that like sits in front of you like this.
Right, that's the way to go. Either that or just glasses where you could actually see it.
Right. So it says the problem with Netflix, they pull random shows and movies every month, but they come back to the service at some point in the future. Roy says Seth kicking Cody's ass. Piccolo says, thank Kevin Dunn for the stupid cuts. You know, we read that it wasn't him, Piccolo, that it wasn't Kevin Dunn that actually did that. It was somebody else.
But I think he's like the one that started it or something, but now people like it or something. Like, it's like, what the fuck? Nobody likes that. And it's ridiculous. Just pan away and show the match. And then change the angles once or twice. Like when they get over to the corner, obviously, you can change it. But you don't need to change it like literally every, like 3 times a move.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes they change it so much that you have no idea what's happening.
Right.
If something important happens and they don't have the camera on it because they've moved the camera so many times, they're like, I don't even know where we're at. It's really...
I think I'm having a stroke. I can smell that barbecue sauce.
Can you? You're funny.
It's like, oh.
Anthony Manzano's in the chat. Hey, Anthony says, Gab, if you had the chance to work in creative for WWE, specifically, how would you book the Brawl for All tournaments if they decided to bring that back and couldn't work if done correctly?
The Brawl for All? Where's that one out?
The orange A.
Okay. Trying to remember what the Brawl for All was. Now, is the Brawl for All the one where they actually fought in real life and then they went on to fight Butterbean, or was that a different thing? I'm trying to remember the Brawl for All because there was some tournaments, but there was that, and they really fought like Bradshaw, and there was another guy, I can't remember what his name was, but he ended up getting knocked out. The guy that won it, I can't even remember his name. If that's the Brawl for All. And then he had to fight Butterbean, a professional boxer, and Butterbean like killed him.
Oh,
He like knocked him out so bad that I don't even know if he ever wrestled again.
I kind of remember you telling me something about that one.
Yeah, it was brutal. Look at the cameras here. It's just like left, right, left, right, left.
Robbie says American fans always have the same boring one chant when they like something.
I get what you're saying. I'm not going to argue with it. I like the European fans when they chant, but I feel like they have fixed chants that they all use.
Uh-huh.
And we had that like in high school and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like here, like, or songs that we would sing and stuff, but they don't do it in professional sports.
90s Grunge Flutters is in the chat, says one of the officials looks like Moxley. Ayla's like, new smoking? I've been binge watching forever. I don't like waiting. Also, don't like not knowing things, so I Google endings as to not get anxious. So it was like with some shows, it could take you a couple weeks to finish a random series, depending on how long the show is and how many seasons there are.
Right.
Roberto Lozano is in the chat. Hey, Roberto says, come on, let them fight. Robbie's like, Kevin Dumb, more like, LOLD with the jokes. Sophie's like, I'm in the middle. I like binge watching shows I have seen before again, or shows I haven't seen before. Vindicator says, Ayla, when you join the on-camera chat for 4th of July, you have big expectations to live up to. Excuse me. You need to be willing to snack just like Dalitha does with Pride and Joy. Yeah.
Uh-oh, blister.
Mindy Junis is in the chat. Mindy says, how many times have Cody and Seth fought? I have lost count, and I'm confused if this is regular Monday Night Raw or a special event like Hell in a Cell. I don't have WWE channel, so I rely on YouTube. This is just a regular Raw, but it's kind of a go-home show, right, for Hell in a Cell pay-per-view that's coming up this weekend.
Yeah, it'll be this week. It'll be this Sunday, Hell in a Cell. We'll be doing it, so you can watch it with us if you'd like. But, yeah, they fought, 3 times, or twice in a match since Cody's come back, but we have no idea how many times they've went fisticuffs.
Had altercations with each other that weren't necessarily actual wrestling matches.
But, yeah, their third and hopefully final match will be at Hell in a Cell inside the cage, inside the cell.
Let's see. Walter says bye. Okay, bye guys. See you Wednesday, AEW. Bye, Walter. Thanks for hanging with us, man. We'll see you on Wednesday. Sophie says, I wonder if Cody regrets his decision on coming back to the WWE, and where would he be if he was still in AEW? No, and I don't think he'd be anywhere because I think Tony Khan fucks up with the people that actually started AEW.
I think he left because he saw what was coming.
Yep. And what we're seeing, and I hate it. Vindicator's like, take care, Walter. Pico's like, take care, Walter. Chris says, Rollins sounding like Mormon saying, you're going to hell. Sophie says, didn't the brawl for all in someone's wrestling career?
Yeah, I think a couple. I think if it's the one with the fighting, the boxing thing, it was...
Want me to keep continuing with the comments because they say it? El Sancho says Bart Gunn, JBL, Steve Blackman, Dr. Death were all in it.
Steve Williams.
Chris Akane says it was Bart Gunn versus Butterbean.
Yeah, Bart Gunn's the one he won. That's a bad dude. If you were going into a fight, that's the guy you want standing next to you. Well, everybody thought Dr. Death was going to win, Steve Williams.
Oh, okay.
And he knocked him out even.
Oh, whoops.
Like, this was real. They had gloves on, they punched each other. But he wasn't a professional, and Butterbean was.
Yes, he's a professional boxer, yeah.
And he flat out knocked him out cold, like disgustingly out. Like he just fell over.
Oh no. Robbie's like, sometimes the camera angles make me dizzy. So like,
Dewdrop gonna wrestle?
He won't be here on July 4th. I'll be here. I ain't going nowhere.
Oh, wow. This is a
yeah,
big...
it's Bliss versus Dew. Pico says Bart Gunn fought Butterbean at WrestleMania. Vindicator says, I hope AEW gives us a Keith Lee versus Samoa Joe match. I want to see more Butterball physique guys beat the hell out of each other. Seeing only these muscle guys all the time can get dull.
This match should last 12, 13 minutes and be a main event caliber type match. This match excites me. These two are fantastic.
All right.
Now let's see if they do it.
Well, before they start, let me hurry up with some comments and then I'll shut up. Sophie says, I wonder how the WWE would have booked the Owen Cup better or worse than AEW did. Pico says, Ayla, what? Why? You spoiling yourself? Okay.
I don't think they would have let Hart talk. They would have told us what the ending was going to be And that's how that would have been better. The wrestling wouldn't have been better in WWE. But anyways, we got Bliss in here with Dewdrop, and Dewdrop's just manhandling her. She's definitely got the size advantage. Oh, she just smashed her in the corner. She is definitely quick for a big girl also. But now she's picking up Bliss. She's got her in a little bit of a chokey. I heard from Ryan, her husband, that she likes chokies, so I'm not 100% sure about that. Look at that. We have a championship contenders match in 44 minutes and 51 seconds. We do get a timer, clock down timer. We got Shinsuke Nakamura and the Bro against the Usos, and that's probably right at the top of the hour. 2, and Alexa Bliss kicks out. Look at her in her plaid. She should be wearing a kilt. She's from Scotland. And Dewdrop's picking up Bliss by her hair. Now, Bliss, she just smacked her in the top of the head. It's kind of like Shinky with his fist bump, or, on top of the head. Mm-hmm. Anyways, Bliss just got a headbutt right down into the corner. Bliss has had no offense at all.
That's from Princess Bride. Andre the Giant did it.
Absolutely, yeah. Knocked out homeboy.
Yeah. Bonk.
All right, Dewdrop. This match is moving a little bit slower than I'd like to see. Dewdrop misses into the corner of Bliss. Is that going to be enough? Is that an opening? Rolls her up, flips her around. Little Hurricane Rana and right into the corner. And Smith said the exact same thing as me at the exact same time. Padiddle, whatever they say. You owe me a pop. Or soda, whatever they call it. All right, there's Bliss. A little bit of offense. Kick. Another kick. Those are 8 kicks. And Bliss into there. She's got like that little skirt on that doesn't cover anything. Mm-hmm. Oh, Dewdrop's just manhandle her like I said earlier. I don't know if Bliss has a chance other than just to get out of the way. Let Dewdrop hurt herself like that. See? If she's going to come after her and try to wrestle her muscle to muscle, Bliss doesn't stand a chance. She's outweighed by 200 pounds. Easy. Bliss has got to be 115. She used to be thicker, 140-ish. But I bet she don't weigh but 120 pounds, if that. Oh, see? Let her beat herself. And you're going to see Twisted Bliss right now. And she's going to end this with no offense. Calling it right now. If she lands this, she's going to win. No! Nikki A.S.H. interfered. Bliss is going to lose this, isn't she? Nope, she wins it with Twisted Bliss. No offense. And wins. No offense and wins the match. Come on. What is she doing? Is she trying to help her up?
I don't know.
She went over and grabbed her arm and pulled on it. 3 minutes, 19 seconds. Ridiculous.
Maybe she was just making sure she was okay.
Is she going back in? Oh, no, she's grabbing her doll. Yeah, I thought for sure she was, and then she was going to lose right there. But no. Twisted Bliss. 1, 2, and 3. They sure don't show you any of the replay stuff, do they?
Not the stuff you probably should be seeing.
No offense, though.
Yeah, that was really weird.
I mean, how do you have no offense and win a match? Just stay out of the big girl's way. She hurts herself by throwing her body at her opponent. So basically, you're saying if they fought wisely, if she didn't throw her body,
right,
she would have decimated her. Silliness.
True.
That's silliness. Come on. We know better than that.
Mindy says, thanks for clarifying the Cody versus Seth matches out. Makes much more sense. Sophie says, the brawl for all the joke of all that was the worst idea. Robbie says, chants in football are fun songs about the players, club manager, and opposition's teams. Opposition teams. Film says she became WWE Women's Hairy Armpit Champion in 2018. Robbie says Dumpling gonna lose.
Yeah, and she did.
She did. El Sancho's in the chat. Hey, El Sancho says
Hey,
Cody and
Sancho.
Seth are two of the best wrestlers in the world. Who cares about how many matches they have when they are all good?
Very, very good wrestlers.
But sometimes you want to know how many actual wrestling matches they've actually had in the ring that count, not just the brawls they've had on the outside. Due to, people not liking what they say or whatever.
MVP and a Moss in the back.
Robbie says Dumpling needs to sit on Bliss to pin for the win. Vindicator
Just hold her
says,
down.
right? Vin says, what a shock they wanted Dewdrop to cover up more. McMahon has a ridiculous bias against chubby people. So he says with Sasha and Naomi walking out, that affected future plans for the women's division on both brands.
Oh, I'm sure it didn't help.
No.
But it could help some. Like, I bet you Raquel Rodriguez, Gonzalez, is getting a bigger push than she would have.
Oh, yeah.
So this might be a blessing in disguise for
Miz
her.
TV with the Street Profits.
Yeah, Street
as
Profits.
a special guest up next. Magnolia Rodriguez is in the chat. Hey, Magnolia says hello. I'm of Brazil. Well, welcome.
Well,
Thanks
thank you
for
for
being
joining
here.
us.
Film says it's armpit time. Robbie says, oh, Dumpling looking like shortbread in that plaid outfit. Film says, boo, Dewdrop, boo. El Sancho says, would we complain if Omega and Danielson were involved in an 8-week angle? Nope.
Nah, let it happen. Why not? And that'll set up Adam Cole and Omega if they decide to go that route.
All right. Film says, let's go hurry up. Hippie Goddess Bliss. Robbie, what time is it? Vindicator says, but Travis, this is why I advocate for women heavyweight and lightweight categories. A Bliss victory here would logically be unbelievable, but she's more popular, and that's how she gets ahead.
She had no offense. It basically was saying Dewdrop is stupid, and she just threw her body at the ground and got beat herself up, but with no offense. She wasn't even using the type of karate. I don't know the fighting style, but it's Steven Seagal style. It's when somebody's coming at you, and you use their momentum. She didn't even do that. So Dewdrop's just throwing her body around like it's a weapon. Anyway.
Ella says, oh, maybe then. Robbie says, 2:20 a.m. in the UK. Mindy says, I wish Bliss was Raw or SmackDown champion again. Both would be better. Pico says, Ayla, earlier you said you would binge something but look it up while you're watching it.
I do it a little bit also.
I
especially
do it sometimes.
like with Vikings. I kind of like to know the real history, and then I'll just see if the movie follows the real history.
Yeah. Mindy says, yes, Alexa. Robbie says, but that was botched because Dumpling moved closer for Bliss to do the finisher. Piccolo says, why would you spoil yourself for? ? Vindicator's like, Bliss is probably a $1.05 soaking wet.
Yeah, especially now. She used to be thick, but now she's thin.
Chris says, Dewdrop Yokozuna bomb. Oh, Bliss do a Yokozuna bomb on Dewdrop. Film's like, she won. Thumbs up. Magnolia says, hello, friend. I'm from Brazil. How are you? Great. How are you doing today, this evening?
I'm doing great
tomorrow?
also. Got Miz TV coming up when we get back. With the Street Profits. Is it time for them to get their push? I feel like it is.
It better be. Somebody's got to get the stupid tag team titles off of the
They're still pushing
dum-dums.
the bro.
Film says, you from Brazil? Magnolia says, hello, friend. I'm from Brazil. How are you? Film's like, I'm good. How are you? Magnolia's like, Sou do Brazil. Let's see. Sophie says, how was your holiday? Where would Adam Cole be if he was still in the WWE instead of AEW? Magnolia says, could you send a save here to Brazil?
A shout out to Brazil.
Hi, Brazil!
Hey, Brazil!
You're amazing!
Woohoo!
You make great coffee. Thank you so much.
Coffee. They had a great Olympic Games.
Thank
that was
you
one of my
for bringing
favorite
us the Olympic Games
summer
and
games.
Also coffee.
Michael
I
Phelps, and then
appreciate
we
it.
had that other Ryan Lochte, and he like pretended to get robbed, got in trouble.
What a
Yeah,
jerk.
that's scammy.
So if it's like, do you think AEW would get canceled at some point?
No,
Yeah, I think that it would have to like lose a lot of viewers for it to get canceled.
I feel like right around 1 million views. I think other networks might even try to pick them up.
I think for now they're safe though, for what they have. least she did it pretty good.
Yeah.
Most of the time they do it really stupid.
Oh, did they?
Yes, like some people who do that part. Film says, quick question, Magnolia. How many population of women live in Brazil? She's filmed.
I don't know, but they're all
Brazil
hot.
is all about butts. Just so you know, honey.
Dun, 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 dun,
Robbie's
dun,
like,
dun,
is there
dun,
much
dun.
going on where you live these days? Are you talking to us, Robbie, or somebody else?
Or are you talking about Brazil?
So it says, even with them merging the tag team championships, they still don't have a tag division. How weird is that? Mindy says, what's the next match after Dewdrop and Bliss? I don't know.
We don't know yet. Right now it's Miz TV.
And he has the Street Profits coming on. And he's just talking right now. So it could be a match with the Street Profits and somebody else. Maybe.
Season 3 premiere. Miz and Mrs. after next week's Monday Night Raw.
Wow.
So stay tuned if you guys watch that.
Chris says, and then we got Ty Conte from Brazil until she started being cringe with Sammy. Films like Lacey Evans' armpits look so sexy at the NASCAR in North Carolina. Sophie says, with the
She
new...
had boobs in her armpits. Like her cleavage was spilling into her armpit. So
Yeah.
I see what he's looking at.
Sophie's like, with the new Discovery merger, we still don't know how it affects TV.
They cut him off.
Movies and everything else.
So whether they did it on purpose or he really got cut off,
What was he talking about?
just his show and things coming up.
Oh,
So they're like cutting him for time, real, or they're doing it to be antagonists for fun for the show.
They're doing it for that, I'm sure. You know, Miz does like to talk about himself a lot, so. Or he's like, yes, UD. There's not much going on where we live, Robbie.
Yeah. It's been crappy weather for the last 3 days, but it's supposed to pick up again. We'll be in the 70s next week and then moving on up into the 80s.
It was normal Memorial Weekend weather. I expect it to look like this on Memorial Weekends. Mindy says, oh, okay, thank you for the info. You're welcome.
Yeah. Be here. We're here all the time, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and pay-per-views, AEW and WWE.
Sophie says, are the Street Profits heel or faces? Every week they seem to go back and forth between heel and face.
I think they're a little bit more face than heel, but they can play both.
Fem says, well, hey, in Brazil, I love boobs, butts, and, of course, my all-time armpits.
Dun, 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 dun.
I was like, Lacey Evans is a whiny husband. Just get in the ring and fight. Stop crying like Liv.
We're going to see it tonight. She's going to wrestle somebody tonight. Some jobber.
Oh, jeez.
You know it will be. They were throwing hands. Hell, it is.
Sophie says, what has been the biggest surprise in wrestling this year so far? Oh, didn't he beat you last week?
The moment's too big. You took the L. They leave Miz in there without a microphone.
He has one. It's behind his back.
Oh, does he?
Yeah. Mindy says, biggest surprise is Cody coming back to
No.
WWE.
He don't have one.
Oh. Did they take him from him?
Yeah, I think they have it. Why are they giving us predictions about other people's matches? Why don't you just do it yourself?
Oh, he has it behind him. He set it down.
Oh, it is on the chair.
Either that or he took his and the other one's down on the chair. Because that one has the M on it. The W is upside down. But the one that Dawkins has is up. And I think the one on the chair is God, dude. Nobody cares about your dumb wife.
Say hello to the babies. I have no idea what's going on here. A monarch.
How about we ask Mike on Miz TV about it?
He's probably going to not like it. It doesn't matter what you think. A little bit of Rocky. Look, his cup's bedazzled.
Huh?
His cup's all bedazzled.
Yeah, it's sparkly.
When my hand goes up Your mouth goes
He
shut.
gave him a high five.
No. They both said it together. Oh, 24/7. Dana Brooks showed up. Tizana. She's trying to say timeout. Oh, he just took the belt. You can't just take the belt.
Kick him in the nuts. Sorry.
Right? Rolls him around, rolls her up. She's down. 1, 2. T-bar in the 24/7 shit. Are you kidding me? Please don't. Okay, he's not. Never mind. She's the champion. I was like, please don't get the championship. Oh, T-bar. That's my horn. Just jumped up and kicked him in the face. Then sat back down and took a swig.
What's happening over here? Where the fuck did Miz just
Apollo
leave?
Crews is in the 24/7. Come on. This is terrible booking.
Where did Miz go?
I don't know. Oh,
Did he just leave?
yeah, I don't know what happened to him. Maybe he got pushed out. Oh, and then Dawkins punches him. They're just
wanted to
watching the
fight some
girl.
girls.
They're watching the girl fight. Oh, no. Tamina was going to kill her right there. But she did that on purpose. Spins through. Tamina. Nobody Mina. Samoan drop. Nope.
Jeez.
Why does Corey Grace say the same shit I'm saying? There it is. That could be it. Ring it. We got a new 24/7 champion. Tamina, grab your belt and get out of there.
Yay, go Tamina. Now run. Because if you don't, it's going to go back to
Why
somebody
would you
else.
sit in there and celebrate? Get out of there. Dana's still alive. She's still right there.
I don't think the divorce is official yet.
She gonna kiss him?
He won.
Look at her. Yeah! There's love in the air, and then she pushed him by his face. Oh! 1, 2, 3, and Tozawa wins. He did it out of love. So Tozawa beat Tamina. No, now Reginald gonna pin him.
Ford and Dawkins are like, we should probably leave.
I feel like this isn't over yet, but there's no referees up there that we can see.
Anyways.
Oh, Lord, that
let's
just
see.
happened.
So Sophie said, what was the biggest surprise in wrestling this year so far? You have one?
Surprise?
Mm-hmm. Mindy says, biggest surprise is Cody coming back to WWE.
Yeah, that's a big one. Also, obviously Roman winning both belts.
Robbie says, the biggest surprise was Dee having a heart attack on stream for Cody's return. Robbie
Yeah, I
says
wasn't
his
in
dumb
here.
wife, Esta, LOL. Sophie says, with Cody coming back to the WWE, that was a shock because he is the first big turncoat switching sides. Not sure I'd call him a turncoat.
Just a businessman.
Yeah. Mindy says, also, Miz TV sucks, along with those other fake shows like KO Show. They all end up with someone beating each other up or insulting each other. They are not stable like Oprah or Ellen show.
Right, they're more like Jerry Springer.
Rob was like, is that what you say to D? LOL. Something you had said. Film says, yay, it's Dana Brooks. Sophie says, we only have 3 matches for this Sunday. Chris says, Dana. Film says, yeah, you're right, Travis. I thought he mid-card, not jobber.
Oh, right. T-Bar and Apollo Crews.
Chris says T-Bar baby. Robbie says Tamina wins. Sophie's like, wow, what a big downgrade for Apollo by being part of the joke division. I'm still surprised is still around.
Well, right. But let's be honest. T-Bar attacked Tozawa.
Yes.
He didn't even try to pin a girl, and Apollo did the same.
Yes.
So, and they both got beat up by the Street Profits. So basically, they could put those two together to wrestle the Street Profits or
Right.
something.
Yep.
Like they could be setting up, and I mean, he wasn't actually in the 24/7 match.
Yeah.
I just don't know why they were down there, other than just the booking was
Just
terrible.
chasing him. Maybe they ran into him in the back, and they wanted retribution for it.
Right.
Ha ha ha.
Something goofy.
Ryoto's like, hey, Delitha and Travis. Hey, Ryoto. Mindy says, see Miz TV chaotic. Yeah. Miz was just completely gone. We don't even know what happened to him. Robbie's like, Tozawa won. Luna says, never trust a boy. Mindy here's like, Travis, who wins a hypothetical match between Veer versus Rusev?
Rusev Day. Rusev. But I like Veer. But I mean, if Miro or Rusev was still in WWE, I think as of today, he would lose because they're pushing Veer more. But there was a time when he was being pushed, so that's my answer, is Rusev.
There you go. Rusev.
Unless they were in WWE. And there's, like Killer Cross or Karrion Cross or whatever. There's a good possibility he's going to be in AEW pretty soon also. They were going to, they were going to use him, but instead they went with Enzo's old guy, 7 feet tall. And that was going to be Karrion Cross.
Oh.
That lost to Wardlow, but they didn't go that route. And maybe they didn't go that route because they can keep him.
Well, and he's pretty popular, right. So it'd be weird. I mean, not that What's-His-Face isn't popular, but I feel like Karrion Cross is way more popular.
Right.
For somebody who could be a full-time guy. And that's if you play it right. But again, you've got another NXT guy, but he's a little bit bigger than some of those other ones, but I don't know.
And if you do it right, you bring him in with his wife. You get 2 for 1-ish.
Yeah.
And she is a smoke show, and you want her on your television show.
Right.
Every Wednesday, you need her on your TV. I think she's the original smoke show. I think that's where the word came from.
Possibly.
Because she's so fire.
So it was like, but a year ago, Apollo was an Intercontinental Champion, and now he is chasing after the 24/7 Championship. Not necessarily
like
chasing
we were saying,
after that,
I don't know if he was necessarily chasing that.
Mindy says 24/7 champion should be the main championship since it's more chaotic and more entertaining. They should have a 24/7 championship main event where R-Truth wins.
I like seeing him back. And last week I thought we were going to get a hint that Carmelo would be back in that mix. Mm-hmm. How they were doing it with him. And so put those two back together. But I think with the women's walkout, they have room for Carmelo to succeed again.
Do something different.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. To be in character. We could actually even see her on TV tonight. Executive producer. But anyway, we are in a commercial break, and we do have Theory out there. We're just calling him Theory now, but it is Austin Theory for you fans that are older, a little bit older than a week.
Tom says, honestly, I choose Gunter to destroy the Veer. Robbie's like, I was saying to Travis, use the Miz tactics on UD. My hand goes up.
Dude.
No, it doesn't work. You see how well that works out for him? Works
out
real well, doesn't it?
I have a hurt shoulder and neck.
Phil's like, Apollo Crews doesn't need to win the 24/7 championship. He should rather go after the U.S. championship or the Universal championship. So he says, I feel like the 24/7 championship was supposed to be a big deal when they debuted the championship a couple years ago. No, I feel like they've always done it as a big joke. So, Vindicator says, Cross said he would not join AEW without Scarlett. Sophie says Cross was, well, they're married, and I could see why. Sophie says Cross was going to be part of AEW, but without his wife, and he was getting flashbacks from his main roster WWE run. Chris says Scarlett and Jamie Hayter on my TV every Wednesday. You'll be lucky to see that. Ernest Bell says, hey now. Hey, Ernest, how's it going? Robbie's like, what happened to Apollo Crews? Robbie's like, LO Defo doesn't work.
This is a lot of fans' dream matches happening right now. We got Ciampa in there with Ali. Mustafa Ali versus Ciampa.
Oh my God, here's a new matchup we've never seen before.
Have we seen this one? I don't know if they actually did the match. I know that they had hinted at it before, but it is happening.
I just figured I'd get it out there before Sophie did, so.
Ciampa and Ali going at it. This could be a main event right here.
So it says the women's tag team championship was supposed to mean something, but then that championship got turned into a joke. Mindy says, did Vince McMahon just call him Austin Theory before getting Stone Cold Stunner because he wanted a Steve Austin 2.0 since OG Steve Austin whipped McMahon's ass during the Attitude Era?
Yeah, I think that's when they got rid of the word Austin was at WrestleMania. I think it was because Stone Cold came in and they just had two Austins. And it was confusing to some people.
Yeah.
And so I think that's when they just got rid of it. Because now on all of his social media handles and on here, they
Theory.
just say Theory. But anyways, look at that chin lock, that side headlock. Sick of your stupid questions.
Well, he doesn't.
So Austin, I'm fucking it up already. So Theory will probably be wrestling at the pay-per-view this weekend.
Oh.
I feel like they're leaving those belts out again, and it's been a long time. I think a full year since they've been defended on pay-per-view.
They need to be defended on here. The United States Championship and the Intercontinental, even if they don't do the other championships.
Well,
they should do them.
Well, we know the World
least.
Championship's not going to be defended, so you should put some titles on there.
Robbie says, I can tell you where the PNC in the relationship. Do you love rinse and repeat? I have absolutely no idea. Ernest Bell says, Cross went AEW. That's the rumors.
It's a light rumor. He was supposed to be there instead of Big Kaz on the Wardlow match that MJF set up. He's 7 feet. You can't teach that.
So he says, do you think AEW would debut women's tag team championships?
I think once they get the division in order and start using it, I think they can. But as of now, it makes no sense. They don't even use their women, like the ones they have.
Mm-hmm.
I think if they put like 2 women's matches on a show every night, or even 3, they could maybe do that. But their matches are so long, they can't fit them in like WWE. WWE could do 6 matches of the women in an hour.
True. Well, that and the fact that they have started using talking segments too.
Right.
And once they've started building up storylines and blah, blah, blah. And so there again, you've got some problems.
Right. So, I mean, hypothetically, if you were to take the women that they have and put them on Dark and on Rampage and do tag team matches on there, you might actually get the popularity to come up on those 2 shows. Because, guys like to look at the women. They don't mind the girls. Like NXT found out. NXT, their ratings went way up from the men. Oh, damn. He flew out of the ring, took out Ciampa. That was a fantastic move by Ali right there. But anyways, yeah, but the women didn't watch that all-women's NXT show. That was the lowest rated show they've ever had with women. Oh, Austin Theory interfered, and Ali won.
Yep.
There's your title match. 3-minute match.
So basically, he fucked over Ciampa.
No, it wasn't for that. It was if Ali wins, he gets a title shot.
I know, so he fucked over Ciampa.
Yeah, it wasn't if Ciampa wins, he gets a title shot, though. It was just if Ali wins, he gets a title shot. So yes, Ciampa takes the losing side of the paycheck.
Vindicator says, I don't get why people are so lazy to the point where they dislike doing dishes and just allow them to disgustingly pile up in the sink. Like, it's not that hard. Dishes are easier, too, right after usage.
They can be.
Mindy says, dang, Theory is got to be the worst wrestling name ever. Fish.
Theory.
Fish.
Yeah, there is a fish.
Worst. Vindicator's like, people just annoy the heck out of me with their aimless stupidity. Mindy says he might as well change his gimmick to a scientist since he's called Theory.
Right.
So he says, when did they do the clock to count down to whatever the next match or segment is going to be? They started it with Cody, and that was who it was doing it with, and that was it. But now I guess they're going to give you these for those particular ones if they mean something.
Yeah, no, it's to the 3rd hour. They want people to tune in, so they're telling you what's going to be in the 3rd hour so you don't leave.
He wants his match right now. So he told Ali he could have his United States Championship match, and he wants it right now.
Oh, wow. They just do it at the damn pay-per-view. They're like anything to keep him off the pay-per-view.
Well, all right. Sophie says, when did they do... Oh, I already read that. Gravy says, since when did the Gab turn into Rumors Gab? Karrion Kross rumor... There's been huge talks of it, so I don't know if I'd really consider it a rumor.
It's from Sean Rassap.
Film says, Ravi, what time is it? Sophie says, what will come first, AEW Women's Tag Team Championships or a Trios Championship? Women's Tag. Vindicator
I would
says,
say a trio. But
Vindicator says, since Luke went on a mini vacation, yes,
I mean,
he probably went to sleep or ate some dinner.
They've done 3, 4, 5-man matches, teams. So 8-man, 6-man, 10-man tag team matches since they've started.
That's true. Robbie says, Austin Theory, great interfering. Sophie's like, it is raining like cats and dogs here. Robbie says, Ali getting tossed like a salad. Chris says, on Friday, Shotzi did a go promo and seems like a natural locker room leader, but then she got locked in. Yeah,
So
her
great.
and Aaliyah are having a fight. So Mindy says, okay, I gotta go. I'm starting to get hungry, so I'm gonna get lunch now. Lunch,
All right.
because I'm in Australia. I don't know what time it is in America. Peace out till next time.
It's
Bye, Mindy.
nighttime.
Thanks for
Bye-bye.
hanging out with us.
Yeah, thank you for hanging out with us.
And if you
We'll
really
be
want to
here.
know what time it is for us, where we're at in the States, it's 7:45 p.m.
Yeah, it's yesterday for you.
Ravi says, all theory should be decent. Ali theory should be decent. Sophie says, they showed the clock to the Usos versus Nakamura Riddle tag match. Vindicator says, so Ciampa, another Triple H guy, is being wasted on the main roster, but you go ahead and enjoy that meaningless payback anyway, Mr. Tommaso. Ravi says, 2:45 a.m. And Luke says, I'm not on vacation. And the Karrion Kross thing was not a rumor. It was reported on by everyone. So it was like, they announced a 10-man tag match for this Wednesday's Dynamite. Not surprising.
Not surprising.
Robbie's like, D, ain't you a 24-hour person? What do you mean 24 hours? No idea what you're talking about.
Are you talking about like a 24-hour clock? So it'd be 1,900 hours where you're at?
Oh. No. I don't do military time. I have to think about it too much. So it was like, what time is that is different for... What time is it that is different for everyone? Yes. Well, I'm pretty sure that Mindy was talking to us and other places in America, but I said where we are at right now, it's what time it is.
I think it also, like Greenwich is where time starts. Isn't that right? Like Greenwich? Isn't that where the kind of the 0 hour and then they work off of it?
I think so.
I think it's GST time, Greenwich Standard Time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
What a
the
big
match
match
has
it's in
not
his fault.
started, but he is getting his ass handed to him. Ali has been getting stomped on. The entire commercial break, he was getting beat up. If he wants a title shot, Ali gonna win the title right now?
No. Robbie's like, nah, you like to stay up for a long time, LOL. Me? Huh. Sometimes. It depends on what I'm doing. And then I regret it because
You're not championship material, he says. Sorry, I was doing my bad Brooklyn accent. All right. Let's see if Ali can get it done.
The bell has rung, so this is official.
Well, not yet.
Oh.
He's
Was that
still
not the
announced-
starting bell? Oh.
It was to get their attention, I would assume. I gotta let the referee ring the bell. Theory! There it is. Now it's official.
So he says, so if you wake up at 7 or 8 a.m., some countries or states are 6 hours behind everyone else.
Oh, yeah, there's different time in every... It's where the sun is. Time's man-made. It's just how light it is.
Rob is like, Theory is good in the ring.
Yeah. He's going to show it right here. We'll see if he can hold on to his title. Ali is very formidable. He looks a little weak in the legs right now. But normally he's a high flyer, got strong legs. But he's laying down on the job a little bit. Maybe he's been drinking.
That's funny.
Ali gets back up to his feet. Ali throwing right head first. Damn.
Is he dead?
That looked a little, like, too brutal. He's not on my level. Look at that.
Oh, jeez. I saw it the first time, but that's funny.
He did catch himself with his hands, though, so he could have made it look worse. Big super kick right there. There's that thrust kick. Theory, his legs aren't his own. Big DDT! Off the top rope. Ali going up top. He might win this. He'll probably get cheated right here, Ciampa or something. No, Theory gets up, knocks the rope down. A-Town. 1, 2, 3, and it's over. Ali lasted a total of 1 minute and 46 seconds. It's almost an embarrassment to wrestling.
Embarrassing. So it was like the people that run TBS and TNT are going to be at Dynamite this Wednesday. Good for them.
That's pretty cool. Hopefully it's a good show.
Benny Care says, I think you are the only one who will ever care, Sophie. Looks like I'm 7 hours ahead of Trav and Talitha. Chief Detective Martha says, yep, we got Chi-Town native tonight besides CM Punk. Told ya I ain't the only one here. Nice. So it's like, I'm an hour ahead of Travis and D since it's 10 p.m. here. You're 2 hours ahead of us, actually, Sophie. You're in the Eastern and we're not.
Yeah, it's 7:51 where we're at.
I was like, Ollie, no chance.
So Postman Pierce just came down. This Sunday, there it is. The United States Championship is going to be defended at Hell in a Cell. Now, will Ricochet be as lucky?
I don't know, maybe.
We might see those mid-cards.
Is he having a match tonight?
Well, not tonight, but on Friday. He's a SmackDown guy, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Sophie says, I could see Ali getting a rematch after this. Well, it happened.
It happened. It's right there. We all get our way.
Sophie's like, oh, what time is it in Idaho? It's 7:52 p.m., Sophie. Robbie's like, Dee, do you ever take selfies? Not anymore. I used to take selfies like way back in the day when selfies weren't cool. Luke says, I love how Sophie answered her own question, but didn't even realize it. Sophie's like, so Ali wins in his hometown. What are the chances? He ain't going to win nothing.
Nakamura.
Like, who's he talking to? Yeah, Ravi, that's pretty crazy, that stuff you sent. That's some pretty crazy shit happening. But doesn't surprise me any.
Two men wandering down the road with common purpose. That's pretty good English. Common purpose. Like who talks like that?
People who are learning proper English. That's who.
Two men walking alone down the road with common purpose.
It's usually,
sounds like a good book.
That's usually how they teach them English.
With the sweat
over in
glistening
Japan and China and stuff.
on their foreheads.
So he says, would you want to see a wrestling event live?
Yeah.
Who wouldn't? He's like, give me that belt. I'm on TV.
Austin 316 t-shirt.
With his beer.
Uso Penitentiary.
Beer in one hand. Austin 316 shirt on, and then...
They're getting booed. But everybody's on their feet. Mm-hmm. It's funny.
Well,
You're over when they're on their feet and booing.
I was like, yeah, Dee, there's an investigation going on about it. I could see that. I mean, in all reality, did they use too much force? You know? I mean, I get, you know, that they're like, we don't want you climbing the fence and this and that, and rioting. Because, you know, it's kind of what they're almost getting to a point of doing is rioting. And, but did they have to use tear gas, you know, on a crowd with children in it?
Right.
For the few people that, you know, were being stupid? Why didn't they just hit those people with rubber bullets? Or beanbags? Beanbag guns. Why didn't they do that?
You just take the athletes and you get them out of there, let the people in, and then take care of it, and then bring the athletes back out. You don't pretty much use any sort of force.
So it says, and would you pay tickets to see a pay-per-view or a wrestling TV show live?
Oh, I don't think money's the issue. It's the traveling distance. If they're just never in our area.
Not big stuff anyways. Vindicator says, have you been down since day one-ish, Travis?
I've been down since day one-ish, yes. I've liked the Usos since I can remember. Maybe they might even have been here when I got back to wrestling in like 2013.
They did talk about how long they've been around.
Yeah, they've been around for a minute.
Sophie says, what pay-per-view would you love to see live?
There's a few, obviously. Money in the Bank would be kind of fun. Obviously, WrestleMania. But I think my favorite would definitely be the Royal Rumble. Just a countdown. Just to scream backwards from 10 to 1 up 75,000 times would be just fantastic. I remember, I don't know if you guys remember this, but a few years ago, they used to have like a clock down timer to like when the show was going to start. And the crowd, this is before the show would start, and the crowd would, every 10 seconds, would count it down. So it was like 59. So they go 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, and then they would all cheer. And then it would be like 6, 5, through the 40s, and then through the 30s, and every minute.
That's funny.
For like an hour before the show would start. I'm like, oh, hell. Then they finally just started taking the countdown clock off of the stadium. I'm like, why would they do that? Like, I guess they were worried that the fans were going to be too tired.
They're like, oh, you guys are annoying.
Holy shit, though. But it was crazy. Just 10, 9, or 3, 2, 1. The whole crowd, they're like, that's like 13 minutes and 30 seconds left. Like, it doesn't even make sense.
That's funny.
But yeah, good times. Anyways, that would be the fun part about wrestling. I like when you're completely interactive with it. I would be cheering for people that I don't even like. I'd be cheering for, like, if he was there, Daniel Bryan. You know what I mean? Like, going nuts. Because it would just be electric. It'd be fun. A normal television show, you're not going to get that kind of excitement. And every entrant in the Royal Rumble is exciting, no matter who it is,
Right.
So you could cheer. It's Tony Khan. Tony Khan's going to sign a contract with WWE when AEW goes under. When his dad sells it from under him.
Right.
And he's like, he shows up to work one day and his dad's like, I got an offer.
And I sold it.
So I sold it. Like, what the Oh, it's okay. You still own Ring of Honor.
Right. Well, you
teasing.
done fucked up. It's fine.
I'm teasing.
Luna's in the chat, says it's 7 o'clock over there in Idaho, basically the west side time zone. Actually, it's 8 o'clock. We're in mountain time.
It'll be 8 in 3 minutes.
Yeah. Ravi says the French police and UFA don't care. Well, sounds about right. Vindicator's like, no brand split yet. Nakamura appears on Raw in a dumb rematch from last 3 days ago. 30-minute break. Or brand merger, I meant. Film says, I'm ready to see Lacey Evans. Sophie says, what would be your second choice of pay-per-view that you want to see live?
Mania.
It could be AEW or WWE.
It would definitely be Mania. And then you would start getting me, like, I think I would go through the big 3 or 4 WWEs first, and then I would probably go to AEW. But, like, Hell in a Cell would be fun, too. There's some other ones that would be fun.
Yeah.
The Saudi Arabia shows would be great. It'd be fun flying over there. I wish they'd kind of do one in Dubai. It'd be cool if they did it on top of that helicopter pad.
Oh. Yeah, they could do a wrestling match up there.
That would be
they couldn't have people, but yeah.
Right.
Robbie says, Lacey LO, she is in catering. Nah, she's supposed to be having a match. Boom says, Robbie, what time is it? That's my favorite time. You know what it is? Robbie's like, not long, film. Sophie's like, would you go to a Raw or SmackDown or Dynamite live?
I would go to any of them. I'm just saying that they asked me which one I prefer to go to. Of pay-per-views.
Right. Robbie says, is Tony Khan a Muslim because of his last name?
I can't even speculate.
My friend. Have no idea.
Don't care and don't know.
Yeah.
His dad owns the Jacksonville Jaguars. I bet you could Google it really quick.
Yeah. Luke says, okay, I'm going to eat and maybe go back to sleep, but I may be back. Sophie says, it is hard to watch wrestling live, though. Is it? Why?
I know the owner of the Tampa Bay Rays also owns like Manchester United, which is the largest sports franchise in the world.
Yeah. Sophie, why would watching live wrestling live hard? Why would it be hard to watch it live? Like,
You're feeding off the energy of everybody else. I mean, maybe you're an introvert. I probably shouldn't say that. Some people don't like being around other people. I would have so much fun. I would probably meet at least 10 people around me. At least 10 people around me and have their phone numbers by the time I left. That I would text with about stuff.
Bum says, no, Robbie, it's armpit time. I know we're not getting any women's matches, but you know when a women's match does happen, you gotta say my catchphrase.
Well, we know there's going to be at least one because Lacey Evans is wrestling tonight. We know that for a fact. Unless she's hurt.
Yeah.
There's a big boot by Riddle. It's kind of funny because I'm not interested in this match at all. Like, it doesn't even excite me.
Well, it doesn't really mean anything.
It does. It's the number one contenders match. If they win
Oh.
this, they get a title match at the pay-per-view.
Do they?
Yeah. So basically, that's why I said it's just two dudes walking alone with a common, what was it? In the storytelling, what did he say? Common something. Mm-hmm. That's why I said I can't. Like, nobody talks like that. So why would he?
Purpose.
With a common purpose. Old Nakamura. Anyways, Uso into the corner. Oh, he was going for a spear, it looked like, but
can't
ran right,
teach that.
right into a knee. Nakamura with those educated feet. You know, you don't see a lot of wrestlers with educated feet anymore. Back in the old days, there's a lot of people with educated feet.
Are they educated?
They're highly educated. Look at Riddle's feet compared to Nakamura. He turns his hips. The whole thing goes with it. Where Riddle's just kicking. I mean, he's probably equal as Miz at the it kicks. Just as devastating.
It's gotta be, right?
Same level as Miz.
Anyways, Bryce says, okay, it's time for me to go. I'll see you guys next time on Wednesday. Bye. Peace out. Happy Memorial Day. Bye, Bryce. Thanks for hanging with us for a minute. Hopefully, we'll definitely see you on Wednesday. We'll be here. Hopefully, you'll be here.
Yeah. I get to see CM Punk representing AEW with his new championship. Blech. Definitely not happy about that ending, but it is what it is. Can't complain too much. Mm-hmm. All right, Jimmy Uso taking it right to Riddle. Riddle's getting choked out by that second rope.
Robbie's like, which Uso is better at wrestling?
Jay.
That's what Robbie says. I would say Jay.
It's not even close. He's better at life, I think, too. Although he's not married to Naomi, so Jimmy obviously did something right.
That he got married?
Well, to her, Naomi.
Oh.
Maybe she just decided to marry into the bloodline. Maybe they don't actually have a real relationship. I don't know. I don't know if they have any kids or anything. So. What do they say? You're not really married unless you have kids?
What? That's not a thing. That's ridiculous.
Pretty sure I've heard that.
No.
It was on Ghosts of Girlfriends Past. So you know it's real. That's like Reddit.
Right. Sure it is.
All right, this match took a turn for the slowpoke area. Riddle getting choked out on the bottom rope. It's going to make Nakamura be the hot tag, I guess. That's what we're looking for. Oh, Jay stomping right down on his head.
That's Jimmy.
Oh, is that Jimmy? I thought Jay was in... Yep, never mind. I guess there was a tag. I wasn't looking. Jimmy was in the ring.
Yes, he was.
Hey, Day One Oos. They the one.
They're dripping all over the place. That's gross.
Uh-oh. Riddle into the corner. Oh, he hit so hard he just fell down. Here's another tag. The greatest tag team in WWE history, arguably, the Usos. And I don't mean a tag team that was in WWE for a little while. I mean, their whole career's been in WWE. Because I don't put them above the Dudley Boys or the Steiners or the Road Warriors. Obviously, are probably always going to be number one. And then there's a lot of other tag teams. But they've been there since day one, Oos, as a tag team in WWE.
Right.
So they definitely could be the greatest tag team in WWE history. There's a tag. Here comes Nakamura. Into the ropes. Big.
Going after Jimmy.
See, it's educated feet.
Oh, and Jay came in.
Everything's with those legs. You know, when he first came, I didn't like it. And now I'm so glad that he stuck around, because he could have easily left.
Right.
Because we don't see it. Like, now we're starting to see a little bit of diversity in move sets.
True.
And we don't see another guy with feet like that. And in the old, like I said, in the old days, there was quite a few. And that's probably what I was judging him on.
Mm-hmm.
Easy for me to say. Shinsuke up top. Getting ready to come down. Right on Jimmy. Oh, that's it. That's a finisher. 1, 2, 3. Oh, Jimmy kicks out.
He barely did.
That's just a testament to toughness.
Oh, you have no choice but to respect him. According to what's-his-face.
That's Corey Graves. Uh-oh. Jay got up there. Big thrust kick right into Nakamura's face. Jay going up top.
Riddle is nowhere to be seen.
5-star. Where is Riddle? Like, he just give up on life?
Oh,
there he is.
Good save.
Maybe he was getting high.
He finally found his calling underneath the ring or something.
All right, we're going to a commercial break.
Sophie says, did you see Tony Khan freaking out when someone brought up what Eric Bischoff said about AEW?
Yeah. He showed his maturity level.
Yeah, right.
He went off. Like
Did he?
swearing and all sorts of stuff.
Oh, jeez. Sophie says, I'm a shy person. I'm short, so if someone is taller than me, I can't see what's in front of me. If I'm watching wrestling live. Bryce said that. Sophie says, if COVID didn't happen and I had a ride, I would probably have seen Mania live.
My doctor went. He told me all about it. He was excited. Got his wife to go with him.
Which is pretty cool. Robbie says, which Uso is better? Read that one. And Robbie says, you've been married for a long time. Basically, feels like forever. Sophie says, I heard Jeff Hardy was a little off last night. Not a surprise, but also in a way surprise, since he is back working with his brother. So he was off, but then like one of his boots came completely undone. So he was like totally like way
I
dumb.
thought he did a great job until his boot came off. And then, of course, he was off. He couldn't do anything. I wonder if people didn't notice that.
I don't know.
Because he did kind of look drunk. He had a boot that was that long.
And it was completely undone.
And it was
from
unbuckled.
The,
The whole
bottom.
entire thing was open. So he couldn't even lift if he would have lifted his foot would have came out of the boot. So he's like dragging it. And then he was trying to climb up to the rope. But every time he'd lift his foot off, the boot would come off. And he was trying to stand on the top rope. So it took him a while.
Yeah.
But that's the only
It was awkward looking.
goofy stuff he did.
Yeah. And then he got put out of the ring and he got his boot fixed.
Yeah,
so,
and then he was great.
And then he was fine again after that. He actually hit his move.
Swanton, yeah.
His swanton perfectly both times. And the last times we've seen him do it, he's botched every time.
And this time he would have got hurt if he would have botched.
Yeah.
And I was like, he's going to get hurt. That's a sharp, because he did it on this, you know how they take the steps and turn them sideways so there's a big flat. He did that, but it's also sharp. So I figured if he overshoot it, he was going to hit that corner, but he didn't. He landed right. Perfect.
Yeah. So he says, do you see Raw going back to 2 hours at some point, since sometimes Raw doesn't need 3 hours?
No.
Nah, it's
Nope.
not going to be 3 hours for a while.
Their third hour still draws more than any other show they have. So what are they going to put on here? Mm-hmm. You know, a Monk rerun or something? It's just not going to draw the same. I mean, they could put Miz and Mrs.
They're not going to have enough viewerships during that hour. And during that hour, like what it is now, the third hour, is, 10.
It's 11 o'clock, right?
Yeah, it's 10 to 11 for the East Coast. And that's
the news.
And it's a Monday night. Ugh. Yeah, it'd be hard to have something that would bring even remotely views.
Right,
to
and not to
network.
mention in football season, there's still games on at that time. And so people would just leave the network. So they'd have like 100,000 people watching their network that don't watch football or something. At least with wrestling, they flip back and forth.
Yeah, film says Matthew is missing this good and amazing live stream. Well, hopefully he's able to watch Raw or something, or maybe he's working. Who knows? Sophie says with Jeff being back together with his brother, fans thought that he wouldn't need to drink. I have no idea what he's making choices in his life.
Let's figure out why he's drinking first, and I bet it's not because he missed his brother. There's a lot deeper issues usually when people can't get over a drug or an alcohol.
Right.
Or sex, or gambling, or whatever it is. We're all hiding from an emotion. All right, Riddle getting hoked up over in the corner. Look at him. He's like, all right, there's a tag, and here's another tag. So it's Jay and Riddle in there. Riddle drops to his back, kicks him right in the face, then kips up, attacks him in the corner. We know Riddle's a toxic male. This is a great match. His ex said so. Whoa! Drops down on his back. Stallion style, huh? Uh-oh. Here it is. Patented DDT. Uh-oh. He didn't do it quick enough. Oh, that tag counted.
It counted, huh?
Yeah, into the corner. There's a big knee. 1, 2, 3. Oh! Jimmy with the save.
Shinsuke thought he had it. He thought he had it.
Into the corner, and then wow. Anyways, now they're showing the replay, and both men are, or all three men are just laying there.
Yeah, Riddle's outside
Riddle's
the ring.
outside, locked up.
Sophie says, why don't they make Rampage live every week instead of once in a while?
Traveling costs.
Yep.
It costs a lot of money to run a program, and I just don't know if they make the money in ticket sales. And if they were going to do that, it needs to be a 2-hour, 3-hour show, which would be nice for the wrestlers. I think they'd like it better than having, a big 5-hour show
Right.
on Wednesday every week. There's that DDT. Woo! There's a tribute to Randy. Riddle hulking up, trying to get the crowd all jacked up. Here it comes. We're going to get an RKO.
Yeah. Film's like, go, Matt Riddle, go. Get that W.
RKO.
Oh, you can't
no.
get it done.
Thrust kick.
Because it's not your move.
Riddle just trying to be Randy, and it's not working. Be yourself.
You just got to be Riddle, friend. You just got to be Riddle.
Oh, hit him in the throat. No. There's a disqualification. They won. Tag team. They won. 13-minute match.
Ooh.
And it was a #1 contenders.
Uh-oh.
So is it going to happen at the pay-per-view?
Maybe. It might. It might set it up now.
They earned their opportunity. Now, when is it going to happen?
So it says YouTube does have a Monday Night War series when Raw went up both against Nitro and Impact, and how both companies failed against the WWE. So he says, but if you are at AEW Dynamite, you are there for a long time since the tape Rampage, like right after Dynamite.
And dark.
Ends. They do dark for it too.
Shinsuke. Wow, that kick was like 13 feet up in the air. Oh, Riddle missed the rope.
Oops.
Jay's holding him.
He's like, dude, I got
you okay? All right.
Okay, get your foot
And
up.
Riddle
Ready?
brings
All
him
right.
down to the ground.
Let's get it done. Film's like, WTW is this. What is this nonsense? Sophie says, I'm surprised this wasn't the main event of Raw. Yeah. It's not very, what do you call it, main eventy type stuff. I don't understand why they always leave without their belts. I would just walk away without them. Like they mean nothing.
They're all just beat up. Look at the RKO out of nowhere off the top rope. Look at his knee down. Ugh.
He tucked it pretty good.
Yeah,
before he
right
fell.
at the end. Well, he's going down on his hip, right? Here he falls over. That just happened. So is that going to be at the pay-per-view? Yes. I'm going to say yes. So is it for both belts?
I don't know. I just wouldn't think so. I would think it would be only for one set of belts. It wouldn't make sense, right? Like one set of belts would have to be on the line because they're not unified belts. They're still separate. So it was like, I'm surprised. Oh, I read that. Nobody said anything new.
Do we lose everybody?
It is the last hour of Raw. It's hard to stick around, especially poor people on the East Coast and UK people. Sophie says, I feel like with this Riddle Nakamura team, we'll somehow set up the breakup of Randy and Riddle for them to meet at a future pay-per-view.
Right.
That's a good possibility. But, who knows? A lot of it has to do with if they, if they pushed it, I guess, pushed them to be a team.
Okay,
I just don't feel they should be pushing them to specifically be a team, I guess. It's great and all, he's got somebody to help him out, but since they're both kind of lost. Anyways, here's Liv, if Vindicator. Are you out there, Vin? Liv Morgan is out.
Liv Morgan showing up, doing the Uber baby face.
She's out there just for you, Vindicator. Just for you. As Luke says, I'm not lost, just meh. Well, you shouldn't be meh anymore. It's Liv Morgan, your guys' favorite crybaby. Film's like, let's go Rhea Ripley and Robbie. What time is it? Robbie, if you don't know, it's armpit time.
Oh, against Rhea Ripley. Well, fuck.
Another match. They aren't going to let this shit go.
They need to just end it in the cage next weekend.
Or something.
Rhea needs to get that big push, and I get that they're doing Esther against Becky right now.
Right.
But that'll hopefully end, and then we can see that. It'd make more sense. They got to do something with Becky, though.
Right. Just something that's
and
not
I thought
that.
Becky was going to be with Asuka for like a month or two.
Right.
But instead, all of a sudden, now we're back with Esther.
Yeah. It's like, ugh.
And that's what I'm saying, that Rhea could be that. And she'd be a better champion.
Right.
Although, Bianca is doing pretty good on the talk circuits. She really does. She went around and she's doing that stuff. She's in Good Morning America. And that's what I always judge everybody by, so I don't want to be hypocritical. She is actually doing pretty good at that.
Luke, it's fine. Chris can unzip his pants. You don't need to delete his messages. He doesn't go any further than just unzipping his pants anyways. We don't know what he's doing. He'd be just getting all comfortable with a hand down his pants for all we know, with a beer in the other hand. Doing some Al Bundy stuff. Hand in his waistband kind of thing. Film's like, I can still see a little bit of Liv Morgan's armpits, which is still good, but she still needs to ditch the fishnet socks. They don't have anything to do with her armpits there, buddy. So if it's like, and when the Unified Champions defend their championships, which championship will they defend, or will they defend both championships?
Right, that's what we were just talking about.
I said, I bet it's going to be for one or the other because it's not unified. So it would be for the Raw Tag Team Championships, not the SmackDown. Because technically they're real SmackDown Championship winners. The Raw ones, they just happen to take off of somebody. So he says this Riddle Orton breakup has been hinted at for months. If they're really breaking up, we don't know what's happening there.
It's not a breakup, right? I mean, Randy's injured. He's got cervical damage. Storyline.
He has cervical damage. It's spinal.
It's spinal.
It's spinal.
He's calling it sick to work.
Chris says, I think...
I broke my back.
I broke my back. Chris says...
It's spinal. You broke your back.
You broke your back?
He's like, yeah.
It's spinal.
Mike Tyson. Look it up if you guys haven't seen that. Look up Mike Tyson, broken back.
Every time they pull anything in WWE now, that's all I can think about is that interview. I heard that you got injured, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. I broke my back.
Calling it sick to work. I broke my back. You broke your back?
You broke your back?
It's
yeah,
spinal.
Spinal. had just had a fight, so I can only imagine how his brain was really working.
Yeah, he's talking about training for that fight, too.
Yeah.
He broke his back for that fight.
For that fight, I broke my
broken back. It's spinal.
It's spinal. So, yeah. Chris says, I think Rhea sent out a cryptic tweet that she was going to show up on NXT Tuesday. Maybe to recruit more people. I don't know. Sophie says, Raw used to get postponed for tennis and a dog show in the old days.
It was a big deal.
The dog show is a huge deal, Sophie. The Westminster Abbey dog show is Kennel Club is very, very important.
And they had a contract with them.
Sophie says the WWE probably trying to figure out if they want Roman to defend both championships every pay-per-view that he's scheduled for or won.
I don't know. I don't know what their plan is. It's definitely a different world that we're living in with that. If they're going to unify it and make it one belt, that'd be pretty cool, and do a tournament for the other, like for Raw Championship.
Mm-hmm.
Bring back the old gold strap or something. Or even the two-winged one.
Tyson O'Neill got in an Indy car. That's pretty funny.
Yeah. Millions of dollars. Millions of dollars. Referee should have rang the bell when he touched him.
True.
You don't wait till he hurts him. And then I guess he just beat him the whole commercial break. And then that match lasted literally 1 minute and 46 seconds.
I'm surprised it lasted that long. I'm surprised they even let Ollie have any kind of offense, really.
Right.
Luke says, the problem is we shouldn't be thinking WWE knows what they are doing till it happens.
Exactly.
Well, since they change everything last minute, it makes sense, right? Chris says, I thought the point of Roman winning was to bring back the big gold belt. They haven't really pushed that, so
we haven't even heard them hint at it, even on their social media, right? Like an old picture of it.
It would just
nothing.
It would be too hard, guys. You have to remember, Fox and USA are completely different programs. They're completely different companies. They aren't related in any fucking way.
They actually don't like each other.
And there's no good goddamn way that Fox would be like, let's say it was the other way around and Roman was the Raw champion guy first and he took both of them. Fox would be having a fucking meltdown. Why? We need our championship back. There better be championship fights, blah, 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 blah. Our champion needs to come back, blah. We need a champion.
No, there's Ali in the back. He's still beat up. This is live.
Is it? Is it live? They say it's live. Lies, lies! Just kidding.
Now he's going to hell again.
I hope he
In
goes
a
to
cell.
hell. In a cell with your hell.
Although he won't be in a cell. Well.
Sophie says if they are going to give Raw World Championship in some way, they should announce it soon. Boom says, start with Tim. Let's go, briefly. Sophie says Raw does have enough talent to hold a tournament for the main championship if they do go that route.
Yeah, it would be awesome. They could even bring some Fox guys on there. Oh,
Oops.
shit, from behind.
Oh, Jesus.
Let's take a selfie, please.
New champ my ass.
Oh, no, baby, please.
Sophie says Raw does have enough talent. Oh, I read that. Sophie says Roman is having the Brock schedule. Luke says, I guess just watching the show and enjoying the ride no longer is the in thing to do. No, Luke, you need to speculate, spit out rumors of what's really going to happen in your own little weird world of fake wrestling stuff. Write your stories about what's going to happen. And then get very angry and upset when they don't use your storylines. That's what you're supposed to do.
I just kind of try, like, I don't get upset over wrestling anymore. I just sit back and say, okay, where's this going? Where's this going?
That's what Luke's saying, though. I guess just watching the show and
Right.
enjoying the ride no longer is the end thing to do. And I
Right.
said, no, it's not. You're supposed to write up your own storylines, and when they don't follow your storylines, you're supposed to get angry and upset and pissed off about it, freak out and have a meltdown, and then question it constantly and say stupid things about it.
What's funny about that, that's not even it also. It's whatever happens, even if I wanted it to happen, it's bitch about it.
Yes.
Like,
right.
Oh, Ali finally getting a push.
God damn
Ali's
it.
been on TV for 3 weeks in
I'm
a
so
row.
sick of seeing that stupid bastard.
It's like, what? I thought you guys wanted him back.
I didn't want him that much.
Well, I didn't think they were just going to throw him to the dogs. Austin Theory's just beating him. It's like, he just got a title match at freaking Hell in a Cell.
Finally.
Like, what more did you want? Well, they're just embarrassing him. He's got a title match at Hell in a Cell. It's wrestling. It's story. It's poetry. Sort of.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's happening.
Yep.
At Judgment Day. So we've got quite a few matches
match.
announced. Should be writing these down, I guess. But. Yes, you said Damien twice.
He's like, I don't know who I'm saying because I'm dumb.
He's like, okay, Byron, what about the leader, Edge? Because he said Damien twice.
He's like, I don't know who I'm talking.
He forgot who he
Damien
missed.
And Rhea and Damien and
Corey Graves throws him under the bus. And don't forget about their leader, Edge, the Hall of Famer.
You know, that guy.
Maybe you've heard of him.
Cut his hair and everything.
Rhea Ripley.
Sophie says the United States Championship is the only main championship that the Raw stars could compete for. Luke says, no, I don't have time for all that. Well, Film's like, well, every time Liv Morgan comes out, she always covers up her armpits, and I don't like that. I don't like them covered up. I like them exposed. Well, they're not they're not covered up. Sophie says, do you think Roman will wrestle at Money in the Bank now that it got moved to a smaller venue?
No.
You know, I doubt they ever even had him
set
up to
they
wrestle.
could, just because he hasn't wrestled. He's not going to wrestle at this pay-per-view, so hypothetically he could be at that pay-per-view.
Right.
But to me, it doesn't seem wise. But why? I mean, why not? If they could build something, maybe Randy Orton and him or something, or Riddle and him.
Mm-hmm. Sophie says, wow, a 6-person tag at Hell in a Cell. And Luke says, well, Film, get just enough money to buy WWE and have all the exposed pitch you want, but till then, good luck. Vindicator says, back just in time for Baby Liv. Best moment of this meh show by far. I tried to tell you right when she came out, but you were nowhere to be found.
Taking a break.
Vindicator's like, I don't even care this one time if it's a rehash match. It is. It's with Rhea. Okay. Oh, and she'll be on Hell in a Cell in a 6-man tag match now. So you'll get to see Liv at a pay-per-view. So you better tune in and watch. Sophie's like, I'm surprised they didn't put that 6-person tag inside Hell in a Cell. Who knows what they're doing. Chris says, okay, Rhea theme better than Edge theme. And Film says, let's go Rhea Ripley. I love your armpits, Rhea. Rhea Ripley's armpits.
Old armpits. Stinky old armpits.
According to Film, they smell like roses.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he did put an emoji of a smelly nose and flower. So I was like, ha ha ha, good one, Luke, good one.
Meow.
I just want to go to sleep.
You can't. You still have to drive home.
I know.
Even if you left now, you still wouldn't get there till 9.
Mm-hmm. True.
It's getting late, though. We're almost there. Half hour left.
He must be growing again. He slept all day today.
We've got 2 female matches, because we got this one, and then we've got Lacey Evans.
Oh, yeah.
And there's only a half hour left, so that means there must not be anything major for the main event.
Maybe not. I mean, it is Hell in a Cell stuff. I mean, what could they
I know what it
have?
is. I know what the main event's going to be.
What?
It's Amos
Oh, yeah, Bobby Lashley and MVP and a Moss, huh?
Right. It's not a match, though. It's a confrontation.
Ah,
So it's going to be a contract signing or just a meeting in the middle.
right.
But that is going to be the main event.
Ah. Luke says, sometimes I wonder why I come mod here, lol. Then I remember I love you and Trav, and it makes it a bit better. Well, I'm glad that you come in and mod for us, even though it sometimes is a shit show.
Can be.
Or is boring, because there's nothing happening.
Like that third hour sometimes just is a tough one.
Chris is like, No's new fetish unlocked? Oh no, Chris. Nope. He likes to sniff those armpits. It's not new, as Luke just says. Film's fetish is not new. Sophie's like, the card for the pay-per-view this Sunday looks good on paper. Hopefully it delivers.
You know, when they look bad on paper, they deliver. That last pay-per-view that we watched was fantastic for the WWE.
Oh, yeah.
Remember? And that was a shit show on paper.
It
I was like, this is going to be the dumbest
pay-per-view. And they
pay-per-view.
didn't do any build-up, and it was dumb, and it was just like, seriously?
And I felt like every match was good. I really enjoyed it.
Does everybody feel that Money in the Bank, like, is better that it's in Las Vegas because Las Vegas is all about money? Like, right? I mean, why do they call it Money in the Bank if it's just a contract?
Because it's money in the bank. It's as good as money in the bank.
Oh.
Right? That's the saying.
Okay.
If I owe you money, it's as good as money in the bank.
They're like, we want you guys to fucking stand up for this episode, for this part, right?
As I lay down, because I'm exhausted.
I'm glad that they're actually saying what it's really about. Very rarely do they ever talk about it. Like, it's become such a weird day. Like, people, like, celebrate it for hamburgers and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Ronald Reagan, good quote. They didn't volunteer to die. They volunteered to defend values, which make up what we call civilization.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's it fucking mean?
And not only that, they go there, they fight, they get crippled, they die, they come home to a country that doesn't really care about them.
Yeah,
that's the worst part.
Doesn't give a
like
nobody
cares.
Shit.
Nobody cares about veterans. They just think they're wackos. Oh, they're just crazy.
Well, why do they act like that? Well, they're.
Yeah, they basically leave so they can come back and get shit on.
Mm-hmm. Looks like it's still better than the shenanigans at the end of last night. Oh, whatever. That was just so much more fun.
Ugh, that's terrible.
Chris was like, ear fetish? Sophie's like, no, Chris. Film loves armpits. Have you never read his chats or listened when I have to read them out loud? Sophie's like, sometimes 3 hour Raws go fast and sometimes it goes slow.
It's been a fast one tonight.
After a 5-hour pay-per-view, 3 hours feels like nothing.
I know, I wasn't even worried about getting on. It was 6 hours. We were on here for 6.
Yeah, this is
I
did get up a couple times and do other things because I had to.
I didn't even move.
I had to get up and
my butt
take
hurts.
care of
That's
the
why
dogs.
I'm laying like this, by the way.
And feed them, and I had to put food away and all kinds of stuff. Looks like, let it go, film.
Is Reagan our greatest president?
I don't think so.
I mean, they need to put him on the mountain at least.
Okay, I mean, he's probably like one of them, right? One of the better presidents, I guess you could say. I mean, there've been others that are good.
Yeah, but
I think
they're already on the mountain.
He was very eloquent when he talked.
Right.
And stuff. And so it's hard not to.
And just educated.
Yeah. To say he wasn't eloquent when he talked and stuff. And most of the time he followed through with
He basically defeated the Soviet Union.
Yes. There were some things he did that I don't agree with. Like the war on drug
Drugs.
things and stuff
Yeah,
that he did there. I don't agree with what they did.
I don't.
It's archaic crap that needs to be changed.
Yeah,
But
that
that's
was.
just some stuff. But, you know, they all do stuff like that. So, you know, what do you say?
Yeah, I mean, it was like a life sentence to have crack on you.
Yeah,
Like that
it's
kind of
just
stuff's
ridiculous.
dumb, obviously.
Like,
But
yeah, it's just sad. It's silly. They're like, all right, well, we had that silence. Okay, bitches, get on it.
oh yeah, follow that, ladies. As the whole crowd's silent.
They're all like, what's happening? Rhea wasn't even ready. Like, the bell rang and Liv attacked her. She's just like, da-da-da!
Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley. Look how strong Rhea is,
Like,
though.
hello, Chris, what are you talking about?
Whoa.
Me? Sophie's like, I missed when Money in the Bank was part of the Mania card. Film says Ronald Reagan was based. Sophie says this pay-per-view on Sunday, it looks like it's going to be short with the amount of matches that we have. They can add more on Friday.
Yeah,
Still
we haven't got really the
There's
SmackDown
too much
side yet.
time that they could add other stuff.
I think we're
like-
going to maybe get a Ricochet on
They
there.
added the United States Championship match. That wasn't on there. Now it is. So
Yeah, there was a few.
other
This match
things can
wasn't on
happen.
there either.
The 6-man tag match wasn't on. 6-person match wasn't on there. Now it is.
Uh-oh.
Ranger
Rhea
says,
got
such a
Liv.
weird timing for Memorial Day tribute. Damn, WWE, do better. Have this before the show starts.
They want everybody there in that third hour.
Chris says, no, it's called Money in the Bank because Jericho invented the match in 05. Also, it was a hit rap song back then, so it was just a catchphrase match.
Right. Well, and it's as good as Money in the Bank.
It looks like
If you
Chris
wanna
Money in the
break it
Bank is also expressing that has an expression that has been around forever. Bum says, what are you talking about, Luke? Let go of
Her
what?
love's better than Money in the Bank.
Robert Warney's in the chat. Hey,
Hey,
Robert.
Robert.
Says, hey, what's up, y'all?
Just
Nothing.
watching some Raw, watching the
Liv
Rhea
and
Rip.
Rhea.
Rhea and Liv.
Sophie says 4th of July will be on a Monday this year. That means we might see the same type of tribute on that night as well. Films like USA, USA, USA. It looks like Liv paying attention, LOL. Chris says, I hate how they never mentioned Vietnam. I know it wasn't our war necessarily, but it was still a war we fought. And heroes still fought for our freedom even in that war.
Yeah, I mean, they died for our politics, yes.
Yes. They should have never been treated like they were treated. That's how I look at it. No matter what, they shouldn't have been treated. One, a lot of them are drafted into something they never wanted to go into in the first place.
And they drafted.
And two, they were treated like fucking garbage because of it when they came back by these dumbass whole fuckhead liberal hippies who thought they knew what was so great for everybody. Fuck them.
They were against the war, and they ended up being against the people that were the tool of the war instead of... It was just ignorance. They didn't know better.
Yep. Exactly.
It was very sad.
Yep. So...
The Korean Wars forgot about.
Yeah. How many Korean War veterans?
I think more people died in the Korean War than the Vietnam War.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh, she almost had her, she thought, but Liv instead got whacked into the apron instead. She's like, you want to take me over there, bitch? I'll show you. Whatcha? Oh, sorry, buddy.
Did he not like your...
He, like, woke up and, like, flipped his head the other way. He's, like, kind of weird tonight. He's been kind of weird all day. Boom says, if you're saying I should let go my armpit fetish, not going to happen. Looks like no. Oh, never mind. Shh.
Do what you gotta do.
Well, nobody's telling you anything about getting rid of your armpit fetish. It was just about what Chris thought maybe you had a new fetish, but no. And then you asked about it because you weren't really listening or reading Chris's chats. And so then it was like, don't worry about it, film. It's nothing. And now you're making it into something. So stop it. It's nothing. You do you. You're fine. Sophie's like, Money in the Bank was a rap song? Didn't know that. Sophie doesn't listen to that. Doesn't listen to rap.
I didn't say it was a rap song. I don't know it either. I mean, it
I didn't know it was a rap song either. But so Robert Warney says, what's up? I just got off work. I'm tired. But I'm never too tired for some wrestling.
I feel you. We got about 21 minutes left. And then I'm out.
Travis even took a nap today. I don't know why he's tired.
Did I fall asleep sometime?
Yes, you did, with a cat. Film says, say
Oh,
what, Luke?
that was a terrible position, and it hurt my neck.
Sophie says at least people who aren't home for whatever reason can watch Raw or SmackDown on the DVR. And Sophie says, when did D sound like Toad from the Mario games? Film's like, okay, Miss T, I heard Chris, but miscommunication, understand.
Did she talk? I don't remember Toad still talking. I thought it was just a... And then the words came up, but I'm thinking of Mario 1. That's pretty funny.
I have no idea. I didn't even know what sound I made that was a toad.
No idea.
Chris says, looking at Liv, damn, these girls these days don't want men. Liv, you need a real man.
Jesus. Yes.
You
Yes.
tell her, Chris. You should write her a letter.
Word it that exactly like that.
Word it exactly that way and see what happens.
Say just and also add in there, say I know how to be a gentleman and I know when not to be.
And then compliment her ass or something. I'm kidding.
That's how you bag a classy broad.
That's how you do it.
And then give her 2 tickets to the gun show.
Looks like Money in the Bank song 2009 by Lil Scrappy, whoever the F that is. Little Scrappy, Jesus Christ.
I love this Scooby-Doo.
That's about as dumb as some of the fucking rap names they have nowadays. My fucking God.
They have
or
like
what
Lil
they
Baby.
look like. I'm just like.
And Da Baby. So
like,
there's
what
2 babies
They're
now.
like, and I got tattoos all over my face. It makes me look cool. And it's like, you look like a dumb motherfucker. That's what you look like.
You look unemployed.
You look like a dumbass. You look stupid. Real stupid. Sophie's like, do you still have to wait for SmackDown or Raw to hit Peacock after a month?
I don't know. I don't watch. I've never watched a rerun of it.
Looks like, okay, sigh. Sophie's like, little Scrappy, like Scrappy Doo.
That's why I said Scooby-Doo, Scrappy-Doo.
Yes. Looks like I give up, LOL. What are you giving up on, Lou?
Whoa!
Give up, you're fine.
Lift, put
Oh,
her
fine.
leg down under her. That can hurt. 1,
Don't
2,
break your
and...
leg. Film's like, can't wait to see Mandy Rose win an NXT in your house. Sophie's like, so the Money in the Bank ladder match came before the rap song?
Maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. According to Luke, it was a song in 2009. I don't know when they started fucking Money in the Bank.
I know Jericho was one of the guys that did it.
Film's like, I love my Mandy Rose's armpits. Chris says, but it was a cool rap song back then. But the baby go hard, but I only like his song, Baby. Jesus.
I think it's Da Baby that I like. I don't know Little Baby, or whatever his name is. I'm pretty sure it's Da Baby that I like. He got a little bit deeper voice.
Yeah, well, that's who he's talking to, is Da Baby.
Yeah, I think that's what I like. I'd have to look it up, though, because I don't know which one it is that I like.
Right? It looks like not a month. It's just like Hulu. It takes a week. Oh, there you go. Biggie is in the chat. Hey, Biggie.
Hey, Biggie.
Says hi. Hi, Biggie. No,
Biggie.
like Biggie,
Oh, Biggie.
Smalls.
Biggie,
That
Biggie,
kind of
Biggie, can't you see? Sometimes your words just hypnotize me.
Biggie. Oh my God.
Well, I was thinking
AJ Lee just returned to join Judgment Day. Who? What? Where? Are you? Oh, you mean AJ Styles? He's not with Judgment Day.
That's funny.
It looks like first Money in the Bank match was 05.
A couple years before.
So it was before the song. Phil says, where did everybody go? Where is Pikola? Probably not watching wrestling.
It's
right
almost
now.
11 o'clock on the East Coast.
Sophie's like, but I thought when the network was a thing
Or-
that you have to wait a month for it. No. It looks like, what the fuck, Biggie? And Biggie's like, no, that's not it.
No.
Oh, you mean, are you talking about Liv?
Judgment Day, so it had to be Rhea. I don't know exactly what he's saying. He's
AJ
like, I'm
Lee
kidding.
just returned and joined Judgment Day.
I kid.
I'm just trying to figure out which one's supposed to
Well,
be
I can
AJ.
tell you what he's kidding about, because all over social media, Edge keeps putting people's pictures on his site, and then everybody's like, oh, that's going to be the next merger. And it's like, he does everybody. He even did Asuka.
Oh, God.
With her face paint, and it was like this creepy face paint. Must have been before she joined.
Well, there. Now it makes sense. I had no idea that Edge was doing that, Biggie, so now it makes sense what you were saying.
Oh, wow.
Context. Throwing me some context helped. with your joke.
Right.
Now I get it.
But now, basically, anybody could join Judgment Day at any moment.
That seems like it shouldn't. It's not a very exclusive club.
Right.
Then
Well, nobody
sounds
has
boring.
joined yet. It just
Luna's
could
like,
be anybody.
You had me confused for even a second, Big Papa.
Oh! That was awesome. 1, 2, and Liv kicked out. You know how Liv has that move where she drops him off the ropes?
Yeah.
Damien just reached up and grabbed Rhea's belt, so Liv couldn't DDT her.
Oh,
Just
so
held
she
her.
held on to her?
Yeah, and then Liv just fell on her back.
Oh, poop.
Riptide.
Oh, shit. Looks like Hulu has always been wait a week for a new episode of Raw and SmackDown.
She got her. Liv pinned
Yeah,
Rhea.
huh? A fruit roll-up once again. There you go, all you Liv lovers.
That's a 10-minute match for the women. 10 minutes and 20 seconds.
Sophie says, a little scrappy, not shocking that he didn't become a big deal. Looks like he had a pic of Jericho and MJF today, laughing my ass off. Edge did. That's funny. Oh, Chris is like, oh, Edge gonna put a pic of MJF.
So, yeah.
That's funny.
But it doesn't matter now. She lost
Sophie
anyway.
says, that changes everything. I hated that you had to wait a month for new episodes of Raw and SmackDown drop on the network. Vindicator says, Travis, who wins a hypothetical match between this Liv Morgan and this current version of Bliss?
I was thinking about that. That's funny that you asked that. I was like, is Liv higher on the card right now than Liv is?
I don't know, but...
Finn Balor
Finn
comes
came
in
to
with the
save her.
save.
AJ must be
I was
taken
thinking
out
about
of
that
the
earlier.
ring.
I feel like there's no direction for Liv, or not Liv, for Bliss right now. So I think right this second, Liv is higher up on the totem pole. Unless they started doing promos and stuff before the match, and then she'd fall on her face. But if they're just doing what they did like this, where there's no talking at all.
Yeah.
Look behind her. Oh, missile drop kick. Liv missile drop kicks Rhea.
Films like Liv Morgan wins. Yes, Sophie says, I'm surprised with SmackDown being on
Phenomenal
Peacock since
forearm.
it is a Fox show. Vindicator says, happy that baby won. Now push her for the title. Vin, you better slow your roll, my friend. Slow your roll real fast.
You just went.
Try to put her up against Esther. Yeah. She'll fall flat on her fucking face, and then you won't see her again for a while. And then it'll be a loser Liv again, and then she'll cry. And then you'll be upset.
In January, she did wrestle her.
Mm-hmm. She did. Chris says Liv wins, baby. Biggie says, I was going around saying AJ Lee returned and saying I'm 10 minutes ahead of everyone. I was just bored. That's pretty funny, actually. I didn't know that Edge was just posting pictures of people. If I would have known that, I would have totally understood your joke. Looks like Edge even had a pic of Liv last Friday, LOL. Sophie says, and we got 15 minutes left. Where's Lacey? Film says Ms. D and Travis, who will win in a tickling armpit match. Bliss and Charlotte Flair, Ronda and Raquel. I choose Team Bliss. What about you?
Go ahead and go with Bliss. I don't know.
There you go. Sophie says with Liv, sometimes it seems like they don't know what to do with her since they moved her into different things the past couple of years. Vindicator says that AJ forearm was awesome. Second best moment of tonight behind Liv's victory.
The dub.
Chris says they're going to do a storyline. Liv gets Wong idea and likes Finn Balor, and Finn has to set these her straight and say, I don't love you hoes. Film says
I don't love you hoes.
Film says who will win in an armpit dinner match, Bailey or Becky Lynch. I choose Becky. What about you?
There is a lot of matches. Are you setting up an armpit mania?
Biggie says Edge posted a pic page, and it's rumored that she's going to return. That actually is a rumor that's happening, that Paige is going to return.
She could definitely turn around and come back as a mouthpiece.
Yes.
So
Sophie says, remember when USA Network gave Raw 5 and sometimes 10 minutes overrun?
Yeah, and, absolutely. All the time.
Yeah. So, Sophie, when you said that about, when you said that you were kind of, questioning the fact that you're surprised that SmackDown be on Peacock since it's a Fox show. WWE still is owned by WWE. Just because they show SmackDown on Fox doesn't mean that Fox has every exclusive right to all of SmackDown's content and nobody else can play it.
Here comes Bobby.
It's
So
still
no
owned
Lacey.
by WWE.
No Lacey.
And that's why it is on Peacock, because it would be on the WWE network.
They scratched Lacey's match because of time.
Of course they did. And the fact that it was probably just a weird, stupid jobber match.
Well, yeah,
Who
but
cares?
it was her comeback. People were excited about it. It was kind of trending today. I saw it on Twitter.
Lies!
It wasn't Reddit.
Just kidding. Chris says Beth should comment Edge on Twitter and say, why do you have all these girl pics? Vindicator says, so this is another weird Raw where no main event was announced beforehand. Now that Liv is gone, I don't need to see nothing else, but I do hope to see you all guys on Wednesday.
We will.
Yeah,
be
there's
there
not going to be
Wednesday.
another match. It's just going to be a confrontation type thing between Lashley and Moss and
Yeah,
MVP.
it's obviously they are going to lay their hands on each other.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll definitely see you, Vin, on Wednesday. Have a great rest of your evening. Take care out there. Hopefully you had a good weekend and a good day today. Boom says, well, it's Armpit show, but yes, I can create Armpit Mania. Sophie says, I'm guessing the Lacey Evans match isn't happening tonight as advertised.
No.
No.
There's definitely there's no room for it. They're not going to put her on last. And we've got Amos and MVP still to come after a 3-minute commercial.
Yeah, at least.
So we've got just no time. They've cut it. They've cut her.
Her little gimmick. Biggie says Madcap Moss should beat Roman.
And there you go.
Vindicator
like this
says,
guy.
despite quadruple or nothing dragging on just to give CM Punk a title belt. Anyway, have a good, restful night.
All right. Take care.
Thanks, Finn. We'll see you on Wednesday for the not exciting show of garbage.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
Luke says, in the past 10 days, Edge has basically teased the entire WWE, AEW, and Impact roster joint Judgment Day.
Basically.
Chris says, racist King Kong music intro for Lashley. Shaking my head, WWE.
Let's be honest, he probably picked his own shit.
He might have liked it. It's fine.
They run it through. They've got a guy that makes music. He took over for a legend. I can't remember that guy's name either, but he's the one that did all the 80s, 90s, 2000s
He was like
music.
great.
Yeah. And then anyways, but now they got a newer guy that took over, but I'm sure he runs it by the wrestlers. I don't think they just say, hey, this is your new shit.
Lucky you.
Like Liv's new music, she was all sorts of geeking out about it. She's like, this band is so great. And
That's funny. So it says maybe they are saving the Lacey Evans return to in-ring competition next week instead.
after the pay-per-view.
Or maybe she'll do a show on the pay-per-view. Who knows? Boom's like, who will win in a smelly armpit match? Nikki ASH or Liv Morgan? I choose Nikki. What about you?
I don't like smelly.
Looks like he even had a pick of Undertaker as American Badass Taker. LOL.
Butch is doing it.
Biggie's like, Butch.
He's doing it. I mean, this character, he's nailed it. He's hitting it out of the park. Like, I feel like he's one of those Triple H guys that can stick, and do very well. Especially how he's embracing his character. He's turned into, like, this weird, like... I don't know if you guys have read the book, but it's called Of Men and Mice.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about?
I know that book.
Just a fantastic story. It was written in like the 1800s or early 1900s. But anyways, it's where they get that cartoon where the cat or the dog's like jumping around. He's like, "Where are we going, George? Where are we going, George? George, hey George, hey George." That story is actually from that book. But that's what it reminds me of with Butch. He's like the badass like leader, and everybody else like, "Where are we going? Where are we going? Where are we going?" And he's like, "Shut up," like I'll just whoop your ass. Love it.
Let's see. Chris says Lacey might be dark match after Raw. Maybe. So he says maybe Lacey Evans was supposed to return tonight and something went over to cut her match from the show.
Absolutely, that's what I think happened.
Biggie says Rick Boogs, Madcap Moss, Butch, and Rick Rich Holland are GOATs wrestlers.
Good stuff. There's nothing wrong with those guys at all.
So he says, after Hell in a Cell, the creative team are probably having ideas on who everybody is going to feud with next for the SummerSlam.
Right. Was Rick Boogs in NXT? I don't remember seeing him down there. I was just wondering if he's an NXT guy.
Chris says, LOL, I could see Taker being leader of Judgment Day. He'd be like an old clan leader.
Oh, Lord.
That's funny.
Here comes Big Moss. How much time we got left?
5 seconds.
So we got 6 minutes left. Or a little under 6 minutes. The Nigerian Nightmare here. Wait, Congo. Isn't that what they said? Where was he from?
I don't know.
Can't remember if it was Nigeria or Congo.
They'll probably say something about it.
Nigerian giant.
Biggie says, and Brian Kendrick.
Brian Kendrick.
Okay.
Oh, it is a contract signing. I knew it was going to be some sort of conflict. So that is his name now, the Nigerian Giant, huh?
Almost. Chris says, Jordan Kamala time.
Yeah.
Sophie says, it is weird that sometimes the WWE start storylines and they end up dropping it after a certain amount of time.
Oh, yeah, like the Hurt Business breaking up, and then all of a sudden they're back together.
Then they aren't.
I feel like that's a drop storyline, right? Like if you have a breakup happening and then they just stop it and they're back together as a tag team, you're like, I thought you were. And I'm pretty sure Shelton Benjamin's hurt, and that's why they're not doing it now.
Right. Biggie says, who do you think is going to win Money in the Bank?
Cody.
What about on the
Rhea,
women's?
I'd have to go through the matches. We will do a prediction show. I'm going to go look through the card and just see all the matches. I usually write them down, but this one I've just been kind of lazy with. And I think it was because we had the AEW pay-per-view last night.
But here we are. We'll sign and stuff. Biggie says, I think Cody Rhodes and Lacey Evans should win. Chris says, contract with no title. Sophie says, with Money in the Bank being moved to a smaller venue, it changed whatever the original plans were regarding Brock and Roman.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. Brock's been out of it for a minute.
Yeah.
I doubt he would have flown back for just that.
I think it has to be a different...
If he's going to come back, it's going to be for a championship at least, and it's going to be a
bigger
Saudi
pay-per-view.
Arabia or something, so he gets paid bank.
Yeah.
Because those Saudi princes will pay whatever. Mm-hmm. And they already have, so it's prepaid.
Film says either between Dana Brooke or Liv Morgan should win at Money in the Bank. Looks like Patrick Mahomes and his wife Brittany announced they're pregnant with number 2. And since the announcement, more than 1,000 Twitter accounts have been temporarily suspended for telling Brittany to end her life. God bless people. Jesus.
What a great...
That's nice people. They're sweet. Bless their hearts.
Why just because he's a chief?
Or is it because of the shenanigans her and his brother played during the games and stuff? And
that's
maybe
just throwing water on people. Who gives a shit? You don't kill somebody because of water. Can you imagine that type of...
They're like, you should unalive yourself. Like, what? Yeah, let me go follow that advice.
I know, you're
So if it's like the other drop storylines they dropped were the Liv, Lana Rusev, and Lashley storylines.
Yeah, I don't think they wanted to go and have lesbianism on their channel. Look at Postman Pierce.
It's not done till I say it's done.
Energy. There you go.
Get him now!
It's a pretty big guy.
Postman Pierce. Sophie says Roman was rumored to face Riddle at Money in the Bank, but that was before that event got moved. Oh, jeez.
He is a strong human being.
He's like, let me get this table out of the way just in case.
Yeah, well, the security didn't stand a chance. Bunch of indie wrestlers getting tossed out. Terrible camera work. Come on, WWE. Let's see
I'm
it.
going to throw up, WWE.
Show it there. Show us that angle. Oh. Moss don't kill fan.
He's like, I hate these chairs too. Or stupid chairs. Dumb chairs. I don't like these chairs. Hate it. I hate the chair.
Oh, Cedric. That job block. Why would you do a fancy little thing? That's cute. Oh, no. A Moss. Oh, Bobby moves. Then spears him.
Oh.
Look at the power of Bobby.
Boom.
Woo.
He's like getting stuff out of the road. Yeah, out of the way. So nobody gets hurt. Oh, MVP is like, I'll get him.
MVP.
I'll get him. I'm gonna sit on him and punch his face. So weird. Chief Detective says, I'm headed to Sleepsville now. I have a day off on Wednesday, so see you on Wednesday. Please stay safe on the roads now, everyone. We so not need any accidents on the freeway. Come on.
Devon got the table.
Devon got the table. We'll try not to there, Chief Detective. Luke says Barstool Sports has been strewing anti-Mahomes stuff since they beat Buffalo last year in the playoffs. One guess as to where Barstool Sports is from. Luna's like, good night, everyone. Good night, Luna. Luke says they even got caught red-handed making up stories about Brittany that get proven false. Then Pat threatened a lawsuit. They backed down. Sophia says, good night. I might or might not be here on Wednesday. Well, if we see you, we see you. If we don't, we don't. We'll see you Friday, though.
Oh!
Ooh, ouch.
Speared him right through a table.
Holy shit.
Oh, you're okay, buddy.
Hi, you're fine. What's up?
Dad's yelling. He doesn't usually yell.
Gothleia says, I'm gone now. Film says, who will win in our double match? Mandy Rosary, Ripley, I choose Ripley. Who do you choose?
Yeah, he probably doesn't understand my language, but
both
I usually have him, and then Naxos is outside barking, and I yell, be outside. And then he gets up, because he knows I'm getting up to let Naxos in, so that might have been what that reaction was.
Right. Anyway, so that was the end of tonight's show. Ravi's like, LOL. 90s grunge says, where's Bubba? I don't know.
Bubba
Film's
Ray.
like, okay, Misty and Travis, it's time for me to go. Bye, guys. Peace out. God bless. Women's armpits. Blessings. Big hugs. Big hearts. Love y'all. Bye. Ravi says, almost got mashed up. Yep.
Yeah,
totally
right through
did.
a
Got
table.
totally messed up.
And
all right,
that
everybody.
was the go-home show for Raw.
Yes. All right, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight for Raw. We really appreciate it. We'll definitely see you on Wednesday for AEW Dynamite. All right.
Oh my.
Once again, thanks for joining us tonight. Have a great rest of your evenings. Be safe out there if you're traveling. Be very careful. Get back home safe and all that good stuff.
Home, I would assume. But we do appreciate you guys. Thanks for watching Wrestling Gavin. We'll see you on Wednesday. AEW Dynamite.
Bye.
CM Punk's your new champion, so be there. Bye-bye.